Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 372 of Spittin Chiclets, presented by Pink Whitney from our friends at New Amsterdam Vodka here in the Barstool Sports Podcast family. Boys, what a ripper. What a weekend. Our first ever Vegas recording, our first ever Chiclets Cup. Great job by G. Unreal time, unreal turnout. Boys, how are we feeling? The tables looks like they turned a little bit.
Let's talk about your fucking intro. That's quicker than I lasted. That's quicker than I lasted before a pregame nap, before an NHL warm-up.
It was going to become a Svechnikov if I tried to do my usual thing. So, like you said, off the glass and out. You got to do
listen,
sometimes.
I'm talking now so everyone knows my voice. It's a disaster. This is the fifth night in Vegas. This is ridiculous. Everyone knows that. R.A., that intro was one of the worst you've ever done. But I respect it because it's Vegas. But you said it's the first Chiclets Cup. It was number 2, buddy.
The one in Detroit wasn't officially the Chiclets Cup, G, right?
Hey, it's the Chiclets Cup.
Come on, R.A. Come on, R.A.
There was just no signs and nobody called it that, but it was the Chiclets Cup.
Oh, he's sensitive. He's sensitive.
Well, wait, you have the same voice from both tournaments.
So I'm the only guy ever to get Vegas voice in Detroit and Vegas, but I'll say this. I was in Vegas 3 nights. Like, I'd been a couple times for 2 nights, and then the third night it happened. I said, never again. That's too many. 2 nights is plenty. Night 5 is when you run into an issue. So everyone, we had the best weekend, but bear with us. As you could tell, we're in one.
We should get a lozenge sponsorship.
I've had 14 hauls today. It's really something. Now, I'll say this. I coached as well as I could coach, which meant I was vocal, I was loud, the voice goes. But every single Chiclets trip, we finish off with a pod, and I can't talk, so it's pathetic.
Let's talk about the hockey boys. The biz nasty.
We're going to talk about the losers first. I'll tell you what, ball hockey is a different game, folks. And the nose-face killer, he came in and he lived up to every goddamn expectation.
Exactly what I said. No one's touching him.
I mean, he gets all the credit, the team overall. So
they're all good, yeah.
The Chiclets Cup, we were in the A division ball hockey. I put a team together, the Big Deal Selects. I had Terry Ryan involved, Terry Ryan Sr. He brought a couple ball hockey ringers in. I threw Merles on the squad, the on-the-bench guys, and there was no easy games in the A division. I feel like I just played a full NFL season, including playoffs. That's how bad my body feels. I need 10 ice baths in a row with the deep tissue massage from Merle's, because that's pretty much all that you were bringing.
Both my big toenails are broken. I have a bruise on the side of me, the side of a slot machine from blocking a shot.
But by the way, you were trying to get out of the way of the shot, let's be honest.
I'm going to announce my retirement tonight. But I'm going to be the coach.
So,
coaching.
To wrap it all up, though,
we're not ready to wrap that up.
The BCHL, is that how you call them? The ball? How do you say it?
NBHL.
The NBHL. They came, they represented, they beat us in the finals, and we're going to be in Buffalo next, so we're going to have to respond. So we got our clocks cleaned. It was a little bit embarrassing having a few former NHL guys on there just get mopped the floor with these the nose-face killing gang.
And I made kind of a joke about it. I didn't really show them the respect that I should have, and now I do. I respect them. But as I said, I'm taking my roster spot out. I already have a guy signed for the next one that's a real player, and I'm just going to run the door coaching. Because our coaching with the door, you got so mad about it.
It was a little frustrating. Now, we got to thank G, who set the whole thing up. Like, the original idea to start this roller hockey and ball hockey stuff was all Grinelli, and it's came together pretty nicely for the second one.
Yeah, it was a blast. I actually couldn't believe it when you see the big Vegas sign in the background. You're like, this started from just a couple high conversations of me just calling Biz, being like, we should do a roller tournament. These videos I'm making are kind of fun right now, and now we have there's 1,000 people here at one point, and it was unbelievable.
I think we should talk about the biggest rookie move of the weekend, though, was aside from ball hockey. Thank you, G, by the way, for the ball hockey. But
you're not moving on from ball hockey yet.
Well, I was gonna bring up G's appearance at the club last night and giving him.
No,
credit.
we're saving that. We're saving that. We're
saving credit card duties.
Hilarious. What we're gonna give you some shit about. Just a classic move, though. Not to get you anxious for the rest of the episode.
I already know what's coming.
All right. Either way. Ball hockey wise. I finally got to meet Terry Ryan and his father. I had never been up there with you, and just great people. And the rest of the team, they brought all these newfies. We had a team from Edmonton, team from Toronto, you guys. That's just the A division of ball hockey. Then all the rollerblade guys. We had Patrick Sharp join Barstool. That team was much improved. Shout out Riggs. Pretty nasty, played well.
Unbelievable.
Now listen,
hands.
they were in the D division. For everyone listening, the D division. The first game, people couldn't skate. I was like, this is pathetic. If you don't win it, you're losers. But you did win. And there were some games that went on that the teams were way better than that first team. But the whole thing, I met a guy who came. He lives in Atlanta, and he was just hanging out on Wednesday night, excuse me. And he's like, oh, Vegas, Chiclets Cup. I'll just go out there. I got nothing going on. Flew out, met a bunch of people like that. They were just not only there to play, but there to enjoy, like meeting us, meeting all the other Barstool guys, getting to watch some good hockey, food trucks, all the people that helped us, live event Lisa. There's a never-ending list where this has turned into such a fun thing because you're not only just getting to see good competitive hockey for guys who still want to be able to play and do things when you get older. Like, this is it, right? This is all you have. It was also just the people that were there to enjoy the time and just take in a fun weekend. So it was great.
A team from Hawaii and a team from Alaska.
Did we say Buffalo?
Yeah, you said it. Buffalo's next.
Sorry.
Buffalo's next in July.
Buffalo's going to be.
All right, how was your experience?
I felt like Eric Stratton in Animal House. Eric Stratton, Rush Chairman. Damn glad to meet you.
I think that every group we talked to was like, I think we saw RA at 5 a.m. last night when we got back. And then another team the next night, I think we saw RA 6 a.m. It's like you were pushing the limits.
That's bullshit.
Oh, my. We're going to have to get.
I wasn't anywhere close to. I saw you, 2 nights ago? I mean, you were fucking food. I could have driven.
Is it a bad thing if you're out till then?
No, but I'll come up to it. But I actually fucking kind of took it easy. Last night, no, like it was a hockey. So just, I mean, I closed out about 1 o'clock. They fucking left my credit card there. I went fucking back to the hotel.
Well, funny enough, Hakkasan, that's where the picture was released with RA with Zegras. So Zegras, who we'll get to that. What a legend! He pulls that off. He gets one try. He pulls that off, and then
there's a backstory behind it too.
Oh, what is it?
So apparently Gibson was supposed to blindfold him one time so he could at least see a little bit through the blindfold, which, hey, a little bit of a cheat code. Don't blame the guy for the move he pulled off. But
he doubled up.
He double blindfolded
him. Doubled up.
Oh, he must have done that on person to the rookie.
He double wrapped it. Veteran move in Vegas.
He said he panicked. Panicked when he couldn't see at all.
So the move, we didn't get to see it live with the ball hockey ending. We had the closing ceremonies as the skills was going on. All of a sudden, I kind of checked Twitter, and obviously it's going viral. The fact he's able to put it on the edge and pick it up is, like, to me, impossible. And then when he starts doing the one-handed stuff, I can't even get the puck on its edge.
He probably had the stuff what the MLB pitchers were using. Was the spider sticky? The spider tacky?
The stuff that's on the bat?
How would he have done that otherwise?
No, I think he can easily pick it up whenever he wants at full speed. That's what it seemed like.
But probably the biggest fleece of the whole experience. Petro ends up winning it, the hometown favorite, and he doesn't get the $35,000. Which the night before the fastest skater competition, I think we ran into Kyrou at the Aria, and I think we offered him a drink. He's like, no. He goes, I'm going to win the fastest skater tomorrow, and then I'm going to have fun the next night. Well, sure as shit, Kyrou goes out and wins $35,000 for winning fastest skater and upsets McDavid, who everybody thinks is going to throw on the burners. So Kyrou, the most undercover fastest skater in the entire league. Right there, Wit Dog.
Not anymore. Not anymore. He's not undercover.
I think he spent it all at Hakkasan, too, so I think he's going home even.
Guys, can you stop
That's
talking
the goal,
about Kyrou? Because I've been EBRing his picks. The odds on him for every night to get a point are so...
They're not onto him yet?
They're not onto him, so shh, quiet.
Yeah. No one's listening. Don't worry. No one's listening
Merle's
to this right
for
now.
the baby formula with the fucking EBR
quiet.
under
Don't blow him up. Don't blow him up.
No, Mer's going to be using newspaper as diapers. He can't even buy the cheap ones when he gets back after this trip.
I don't think we mentioned that fucking Grinelli's team won the fucking division.
The Barstool team.
We didn't even mention that.
No, we did. We did. I had just mentioned it, but it's
years and years of losing finally culminated to a big W.
So I hope everything kind of pops into my mind about the different games you had, but one that I just thought of was right when you won it. I was sitting kind of behind a guy and his wife who were from Edmonton, and they just came down to visit Vegas, go to the All-Star game, and then we were there, so they came over. I had just talked to them for 10 minutes. The game ends. You guys celebrate. Sharp had put his helmet on just for the championship game. He was going just backwards hat, looked unreal. Championship game, he puts on his old UVM green bucket with a shield. The only guy that did it was Rudy because he got new jibs. So someone said, why are you putting the helmet on now? He goes, 'cause I'm really playing to win. So, mind you, he takes the helmet off, and that family that I was sitting right behind that I just met, the woman, she said, oh my God, who is that guy that just took the helmet off? And the husband's like, what? She's like, that's the hottest man I've ever seen. I was like, oh.
And that was the second.
Nice meeting you guys.
That was the second proposal we saw at Chiclets Cup.
She literally divorced the guy right there. Yeah. She's with Sharpie now.
She was jamming herself with the Pink Whitney dildo that we were selling at the merchandise shop.
There it goes. There it goes.
How about me looking off Patrick Sharp?
Oh, gee, you donkey. And you guys interrupt me when I'm talking too much.
No, I love it. Keep going.
In the first game, I'm going there, I'm watching, and you
First shift
of the first game. He gets a 2-on-1 off a turnover. He's got Patrick Sharp buzzing down the right side. The defenseman was not in the middle of the 2-on-1. He was playing it horrifically. Like, G could have just slid it over to him. Instead of sliding it over, as the bench is like, Sharpie, he goes to shoot, whiffs completely, and falls over. I went, my mouth was just ajar. Feidelberg's next to me. He says, oh my God, he may lose his fucking job for that. It was pathetic. Now, you bounce back quick because that same shift, I believe, you had the same opportunity. You slid it over him. What happened? Bar down.
I know you guys.
And then the next game, I got the game winner, though. Let's not forget that.
Oh, you played awesome. You played great. I was watching him.
One who was the biggest liability? Barstool Jordy. No. He is a bender. Even Prez got involved on that tough slide there.
Is he on waivers then?
You can't really put anyone on waivers after a W. I feel like we got to run it back with the same team.
Oh yeah. You can't be the coach that changes the lineup.
No,
I got to disagree there. You got to get somebody that's hungry to win a championship. He needs the hunger.
I mean,
here's the thing. I said before the tournament, I was asked by Devlin or somebody doing the social, who's the worst player on the team, basically. I think they said LVP. Now, I'm not one to bring people down, as you guys know, but I still felt like I should say, well, Jordy's horrific. You go
like
look
he
at
can't be doing hockey blogs with how bad he is at roller hockey, basically, is what you're saying.
Well, no, such a great guy. Saw him right when we got in at the check-in. What's up, Jordy? And then you just see him get on the blade. You're like, oh,
if he's not better,
stick to lacrosse. But he won. He's a champion.
I was going to say, if he's not better at lacrosse, he should be shot into a rocket ship and never be seen at Barstool again.
What do you think Patrick Sharp's thinking when he's playing on a line with guys like that? Even guys like me, too.
He just had a blast.
He's probably thinking, I got the biggest dick on this team. I got the biggest bank account. I got the best teeth. I got the best hair. I got the best skin. I'm basically Lundqvist, but just maybe not a goalie. He's like the forward Lundqvist.
So don't worry if you don't feel like passing to me, because I'm good.
Another former Blackhawk, not 3 rings, 2 rings. Christopher Stieg, that guy is a fucking character.
Oh, we had a time catching up with him. I got to play with him in Florida. One of my favorite NHL stories. I've said it a million times so quickly. He got healthy scratched after a game in Florida. We got to D.C. 3 a.m. Hey, Steger, you're not playing. Be on the ice at 10 a.m. He went to the arena. I was also scratched. He took every puck and flicked every single one into the stands. Coach goes, okay, see ya. That was it. But he was catching up with him was awesome.
His team won too.
Yeah, I think they were getting called out for a little bit of the what you guys did, the sandbagging.
I think is when we called them on stage, because their team won it too, right? And I said, what do you have to say? And he goes, I called my first ring the caner, the second ring the taser, because it taves, and he goes, I'm calling this third one the Steger, because he earned it, and he was the best player on their team for sure.
Got to give props to Chef Donnie, too, who replaced me in net.
Oh, he was money.
Those 2 saves he made at the end of the game when the fucking back-to-back unreal saved the game. I got to dap him up. Also, the local support was incredible. So many people from like Las Vegas who showed up. Yeah. And also people who drove and flew in and weren't even playing. They just came to hang out. Like a guy had his 2 young kids. They drove 4 hours from San Diego.
We saw a woman and a couple with I think an 8-week-old from Colorado they drove. So it's what you're saying is true. It's just we appreciate that a lot too.
Very much. It's overwhelming. And Vegas is a hockey town, man. There's no doubt about it. It's a sports town this weekend too with the Pro Bowl. But
we spent a lot of time off the top here talking about this whole tournament.
Well, we're gonna do this episode's off the rails. Everyone listen. We're just shooting the shit. All-Star break.
But like to summarize it all though, like you guys kind of just touched on it. Like thank you to the fans, because we don't really get to have that live interaction very often, and we're treating these moving forward as kind of like this like type of festival. We mentioned that we're doing Buffalo. We are going to be doing Boston as well. So we're trying to create this live event atmosphere, bring current and former NHLers. We want the fans interacting with them and just give them a really cool experience. And it seems like every fan who showed up was very impressed by what happened. And we're going to keep taking your feedback and growing it and making it better. Chiclets Cup. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, very well said. And RA, when you say it's a hockey town, we were waiting around in the at the entrance of the arena, Merles and I, for G and Biz to get the tickets and stuff. And there's an enormous line of people, but they were selling beers. It wasn't near a beer tent. I was like, what is this line for? Somebody said, they're taking pictures with a player. I'm like, what's going on? I see Mark Stone. I'm like, they're taking pictures of his,
cardboard cutout,
all-star cardboard cutout. There's 35 to 40 Vegas fans, all in Vegas jerseys. This place is diehard about their team, which is pretty cool to see.
And the football teams here, they say there's going to be an NBA team possibly, and they're building a baseball stadium too. They're knocking down the Tropicana. So
you get the Oakland A's here.
Yeah,
would that be the team that moves?
Most likely, I would say if any.
Just any team in Oakland goes to Vegas.
Yeah, that's a tough.
Oakland, shout out Oakland.
It was a huge Pink Whitney weekend out here in Vegas. The town loves hockey. It loves Pink Whitney. It was great to pair them up once again. Lots of victory shots for the boys this weekend. So load up for the big game coming up this weekend, or head over to your local bar and make sure to
Well, since we're talking about bottles and maybe it segues well into bottle service and. Rarely. I'm not a bottle service guy anymore. I used to in my heydays when I was, in my 20s, we would go out, you get the table with the guys. And so last night it was one of those situations, and we're at dinner, and Grinelli's like, who's going to get control of, the tab? And I'm like, well, I'm not going to last much long. The noise gets loud in there. I'm tired from the ball hockey. Grinelli, you're going to be in charge of the credit card. And Whit, I guess I'll let you take over from here. But it was pretty much a full-fledged disaster from takeoff.
So prior to going in, now I would say, looking back, bottle service is the biggest joke in the world. It's all I did from, let's say, 2005 to 2013-ish, just every weekend bottle service. I look back now, I wouldn't change a thing. But as I get older, it's pathetic. So as we're going in, G said, Whit, will you take you order everything? Because when you go in, you got to meet the girl doing the service, and you order all.
Tits are out.
Masks on in Vegas though.
I also just didn't want to be the guy that was getting freaked out on in the booth, which ended up happening.
So yes, I knew you didn't, and that's why you were kind of in a no-win situation, because not knowing this stuff, you would never know.
And it's also
they bully you.
Great learning experience for all you young bucks out there.
We're teaching young bucks right now. When
the cocktail server comes over,
yes,
she's
we're
got
teaching people.
The T-bar riding right up her ass, and she's got her tits hanging out, and you're 10 bottles of Dom. Let's do it, rock and roll.
And the occasional, everyone listening knows it. The occasional, as she's showing you the menu, she's rubbing your shoulder.
Oh yeah,
just totally hook, line, and sinker. So G goes in there.
What Merle's wants to chime in.
Oh, sorry. One thing that if you're teaching the kids. Gratuities already included. I've gotten snapped on that a few times. You tip them again, it's already in. So remember that, kids at home. Gratuities already included.
Yeah, so it's 40% if you don't figure it out quick.
So you were in a no-win, but you went in, and then all of a sudden you asked me before. I said, "Gee, I'm gonna be in there in 15 minutes," and I get in, and sure as shit, I see the beautiful young woman go over to G. She's got the big light for the menu. You look at the menu, the bottles, they're marked up 10 times. It's an absolute joke. So you got to go in with a plan. I'm going to get 3 bottles of vodka, whatever. You had no plan whatsoever.
Zero plan.
And I would say I would get 10 liters of Everclear, as much sugary drink as possible that's on the house, maybe some water, maybe. And a couple of bathroom visits from the bouncer. And as you had no game plan, she says, "Well, why don't we start with some champagne?" And listen, sir, Mikey G, the star of the D division she
champions.
Might have been rubbing your cock at this point.
Yeah, she says, "Why don't you start with the Dom too? Because you're celebrating. I see your Chiclets Cup." Next thing you know, we got the stupidest, most ridiculous light show that they do in clubs, which, by the way, I love. Back in the day, I loved it.
I have to get LASIK because of it.
And I see 6 bottles of Dom. I'm like, Grinelli.
The whole goddamn table budget was blown before everybody had got to the... Nobody even had their wristbands on, and fucking the whole budget had been blown on Dom Perignon for a fucking roller hockey win in the fucking C division. The D division. The D division.
It was 3 bottles of Dom, 2 Magnum vodka bottles, and a bunch of Red Bulls. I'm drinking vodka Red Bulls. I don't care. I was fine.
Everybody and their aunt who was here for the All-Star game was showing up to that table last night. I would have took a Gatorade jug full of Everclear, And that would have been good. No Dom. Sign the tab now. Gratuities included, and we're out of here.
In another mood, I'm telling you guys, you kids listening home, always get a case of beer because everybody's coming up to your table. Oh, give me a drink. True. Give them the $6 beer.
Yeah,
instead of the $800 bottle of vodka. So you always, I remember I taught you that your rookie year.
Yep, Mer taught me a lot.
Case of beer. Yeah, 4 bottles of Grey Goose. Case of beer.
And hold on, if you're a group of guys out there, maybe charge people on the way by to sniff the vodka because that's how. Maybe $1 a pop just to sniff the bottle.
They get to lick the top of it. Hold on,
just to get back some of the dough you're spending.
So when you imagine our crew there, I mean, it's all the behind the scenes people we talk about, and then the Barstool personalities. I love Barstool Chief. I like, Jordy. Like, these aren't Dom Perignon guys. Like, none of us need a Dom. Like, I love you guys, but I'm the same way. We don't need Dom Perignon.
I drank toilet water here in Vegas. I used to go over to the bathroom and fill my cup up for the first few years I was coming. Because once you pay for the hotel and all the money you lost at the tables, I mean, it adds up, right?
It adds up.
Right?
Speak for yourself.
You get the resort fee on top of your hotel bill.
Internet for you, Jizz, because you struck out 3 nights in a row.
I won't pay for the internet $10, but I'll lose $300 at the craps table.
That's what I'm saying. Give me a fucking password.
So
call down the front desk for it.
In my defense,
she sounds cute.
In my defense, we had 2 tables.
Sorry,
it was like 65 people. I had to worry about sponsors. I had to worry about behind-the-scenes people. I had to worry about NHL players. I had to worry about all the Barstool personalities, all getting into the booth all at once, and then this girl comes up to me and sandbags me. I asked you to buy the bottles. I asked you to pick the bottles. You both said no. You should have known.
Yeah, we were teeing you up.
Hey, we're gonna pass the buck. It was a team loss.
Okay,
just
I'll
like
take
it was
that.
for the big deal select.
Okay, I'll take it.
And we can move on. The good news is though, is RA had a good time, but once again, he was home by 12 last night.
Yeah,
the Sparkler showed up at 12:30.
Doesn't stay up past midnight.
Him and Zegras were fucking doing belly button shots with each other on the DJ booth till 4 a.m. But RA was somehow in bed right in the outline at 12 o'clock.
He was DJing for Loud Luxury too. Did you see that?
I
see
didn't
the video?
expect to get put on the 1s and 2s.
You were on the stage?
They pulled me over, put the fucking headphones on my head. I just started doing like 80s fucking dance, like the Cabbage Patch and Running Man. I know what the fuck.
So let me ask you, what do you think of like that type of music? Is it because I'm just like, oh man, like are you?
I'm not a club guy, but last night I'll definitely go to something like that where the setup's all there. But even when in my 20s, I was never really a club guy. Just not my scene. I'm an Irish guy, Irish bar pub type of guy.
Terry Ryan Sr. when he walked in and it started picking up and the lights were going, he's like, I feel like I'm on Mars. He goes, I feel like I'm on Mars.
Left my credit card there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just so you could say you go back tonight to get it.
In the bathroom where he's chopping up his Villielinos. What else you got for us, R.A.?
Oh, snap. Let's see what else. Biz, moving right along. Your boy, Mark Madden. What's up with him fucking chirping our tournament?
What do you mean? What do you do?
What a great face the Chiclets Cup is putting on ball hockey. Thanks, guys. #clown show.
Wow.
Madden, are you kidding me right now?
How much love have we given Madden?
What a pigeon.
Madden, are you serious?
What an absolute pigeon.
Oh, hold on. Wait, what? So he said...
I sent him a pair of stretchy waist jeans for fucking Christmas, and he's going to fucking send us a tweet
What
like that.
the hell, Mark? Wait, so why is he mad? What is he saying?
Just what a great face the Chiclets Cup is putting on ball hockey. Thanks, guys.
All right, so I'll say this. So Mark, which I know you're listening right now, and...
Big fan of the show.
I love going on your show. We can chat about this. You're sitting at home while we have one day 1,000 people came by, including competitors, and every one of them, or not every one of them, but all the guys and girls I talked to said they had a blast. Thank you for putting on. So everyone here who's having a really good time playing with their buddies, being competitive, having some drinks, you say is a clown show? Sweet. That's a solid argument right there, Mark. So stay hot. And we could chat about it whenever on your show. But for us to do something where I think everyone's really enjoying themselves and you dog it, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe we need more villains. Maybe we invite him to the next one.
Okay.
Maybe he can
maybe that's what it is. So he's a big-time ball hockey. I think they call it deck hockey.
Maybe we should put him in net. Fuck, you take up the whole fucking thing.
Maybe he's pissed he's not here. Maybe, and he's like, you know what? Since I'm not there, I'm going to dog their show.
We'll put him in net. We'll get him a per diem pack. We'll get him a marker at the next table of whatever casino we do it with.
And we'll bring him Roethlisberger. He can interview Roethlisberger with us because that's his boy.
And then we can announce Crosby to the Avs together. Mark, what do you think about it? All right.
The evil wasn't.
I don't know. I don't get it because it doesn't just clown show. Like at least explain what you mean. I love how this guy shits all over people.
There was no other tweets
swear on Twitter. He
there
puts
there was no other tweets.
Not in that particular section. It wasn't like a thread. It was just a random one. So I don't even know what the fuck he's trying to say.
Well, why even talk about it?
We had 4 national team players from Canada, and then the team we played against had 3 U.S. national team players. What do you mean it's a clown? These are the best players in the world.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point, and that reminds me of what I wanted to mention in meeting the guys from Terry's team, Connor, K-Man. I'm drawing a blank. I apologize, but
who, the big redhead?
What?
Esky.
Esky was a part of this conversation, but I'm forgetting someone else that was showing me. And Terry Jr. So they go and play in the Worlds. They show me the stadium that the KHL team in Slovakia plays at, Mer.
In Bratislava.
Yep. 16,000 packed. And I think the Czech won the World Championship in overtime, and Terry Ryan was there videoing it. He pans up and down. It's like if a home team won the Stanley Cup in overtime. It was crazy. So I didn't know that the Worlds were that entertaining to even go and be a part of. So, man, we had a couple guys who played in it. I guess it was a clown show.
All right, moving right along to the other big story, the All-Star game today. The tourney, I guess you call it. The Metro beat the Central 5-3 to win the mini tourney. Claude Giroux was named MVP, 3 goals, including 2 in the final. He got a new Honda Passport for that. The winning team is going to split $1 million, but I think the main story, Pasha.
Pasha was the main story of the All-Star game. Should we bring him on for a couple minutes? He had the same sleep schedule as RA this weekend.
Pasha?
No, me and Terry Ryan Sr. went to bed at the same time. So.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that really says something. Like he wouldn't stay out late. So
what do you want to know?
I want to know. Well, actually, I got to give you credit. Absolutely crushed the All-Star game today in terms of coverage. And when our behind-the-scenes video of this trip comes out, you're going to see why. You decided to just somehow enter the locker room, correct?
It was the ice. Yeah, I rolled in with Sean and River, and kind of half cut from last night. And I see this hallway to the ice, and I go, boys, might as well try it. So I walk up and I go to the penalty box, and I kind of knock on the glass, and the guy in there looks at me. I flash the pass. He goes, okay. Walk out on the ice, and I'm the only media guy out there. Not a single camera out there. Guys are skating around. I walk to the bench, saying hi to a couple guys. They're waiting to drop the puck. I'm literally buzzing around, like, only camera on the fucking ice. And I'm like, okay, this is probably the time to go now. But it got some great content for the vlog.
Oh, the content's amazing, but
then you came
head
back up to the box.
Well, yeah, listen, hold on. So he gets ahead. So I didn't even know he was down there, and Rose and I are just chatting as we're waiting in between whistles.
Oh, we're putting our bets in.
We're putting our bets in.
Okay, let's get this game going. Like, what's going on? Why is it stalled?
Yes, exactly. Kind of looking up. I said, Is that Pasha? Merles goes, what the fuck? We're like, what is he doing? The ref's like this.
Dude, I remember
there's just a cameraman running across center ice in the middle of the All-Star game. What is going on?
I remember Eberle give me this look. It's like the guys are literally circling the face-off out, ready to get going.
Anybody say hi?
I'm at the bench just chatting with a couple of guys. I look by, like everyone's like literally like staring at me. I'm the only guy who's not playing on the ice with my fucking camera, not supposed to be there.
Okay, so everyone, I think we're all aware of what Pasha's done in terms of making fake concert tickets, fake credentials. He gets in everywhere.
Jason Bourne.
Now you were called out. Somebody knew who you were today, right?
Yeah. So
like his name's making the rounds.
So we go to the credential office in NHL. And we gotta go. Grinelli told us they had our names, whatever. So we go, show our IDs. We take a little selfie, and as the girls kind of printing it out, whatever. We're talking how long you worked at the NHL, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, do you know Matty Nicholson? He's my boy, the guy that I work with at the NHL. She goes, yeah, I know Matty. I go, yeah, I work with Matty all the time. She goes, I know who you are. I know your name. Yep, Matty's told me about your fake IDs. I know exactly who you are.
And he's still running across the ice. So the story doesn't...
Heidi Browning might be aware of the situation. Same with...
Steve Mayer. Great people.
Who kind of runs the whole show, which,
people.
mind you, he might have been more crippled than I was at the event today. Shout out NHL. Hey, the fact that
it was allergies. It was allergies.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it does get dry here.
It's pollen.
Oh, yeah, that's why my voice is bad. It's just really dry on the desert.
Pollen.
But also,
it's big as pollen.
Shout out the NHL. They put on an incredible event, skills-wise, game-wise. The fans were entertained, and all the people behind the scenes who run it, they are top-notch.
Hey, as you try stroking off the NHL, let me the story.
Double wrister.
The story doesn't
end. It's a double wrister.
Yeah, shout out TNT guys too. Thank you. the story doesn't end. So Pasha comes up, and this is where you pulled the great move. He said, Biz, we have to go down there, and we'll just guerrilla warfare film, like little interviews.
That's how we did it in the past.
And Biz kind of never really usually does this. Never really usually. What a sentence. He says, I don't know right now. I can't go because I can't talk. Pasha says, no, Biz, we got to go. So they go down. All right, great. Now I know Biz is going to crush it. You're getting him down in there, and we're watching these two. They go back to the penalty box that Pasha just exited the ice from. They knock on the door, same thing. There's fools just like, come on down. It could have been anyone. And they're running across. But now this time the Zamboni's out on the ice. And I'm like, okay, this is my mind. Biz is a hockey player. They're well aware that like when the ice is wet and the Zamboni's on there and you're in sneakers, you are in warfare mode. But it's game on.
You're going from uncut ice to cut ice to uncut ice.
But non-hockey players don't know this.
No, it gets way slippier. You got to activate every goddamn muscle in your core to keep afloat there.
So Biz is well aware of what's going on, and we're watching him very carefully, and he gets across. Pasha, all of a sudden, we see the right ankle move that touch, and I was like, here we go. Now, when you're falling and you try to stop yourself from falling, that is when it gets really ugly. You almost have to just give in. He tried to save himself. It was 27 seconds before he went down. I started screaming with my voice like this, tell me somebody caught it on camera. Business, babe, Katie. I got it.
But the best thing about him, though, he held the camera up. Yeah. He didn't smash his own camera.
For the content. Anything for the content.
Yes.
Elbow smash.
Put the body on the line for the content.
By the way, NHL, we'll be sending a letter from our lawyer's office for Pasha's elbow.
Yeah, my
and his camera lens that might have gotten smashed.
I think Gritty was above the bench and saw it and was like mocking you as you got off with the camera. But tell us what happened once you went back scenes after.
Pasha, you take over.
So we go in there and it's just like every 5 steps, people are like, oh, no, sorry, your pass is no access to this area. We're like, oh, yeah, sounds good. Kind of turn around and then just walk in. Everyone's just like looking at us. Biz is just like interviewing the guys. We got Tyreek Hill and Biz like doing like a full-blown dance-off. Like his manager's like, who's supervising this? Like who's in charge of this interaction right here? They're like doing the dance. Biz is like, what would your celly be?
Wait, I want to ask Nelly a question. So we asked him, he goes, I know 2 NHL hockey players. Guess who they are? 2. Tyreek Hill knew 2 NHL hockey players.
I wouldn't have gotten this correct, although that's giving it away, I think.
Who do you think's been the face of the league?
Austin Matthews.
I know it should be so obvious to you, but it's not.
It's pretty obvious.
I know, but he won't get it. Watch.
No. So he goes, I know Alex Ovechkin and I know Sidney Crosby. And I said, that's respect for knowing those guys because they've been carrying the league on their backs.
Feels coming up 20 years, basically.
Buddy, let's say 15 to play it safe.
Yeah, save Pittsburgh, change the Capitals.
I don't even care if Ovi played the fake COVID card for the fucking All-Star game so he can miss a few afterward.
Yeah, 100% did.
We got the Putin access on the COVID card. But he knew those 2, but I told him, I said, Tyreek, you need to know McDavid because he is the cheetah on ice.
He's the guy.
He's like a cheetah / Mahomes. He's got all of it, right? He's like a hybrid. So he was, and then I asked him, I said, what would you do as your on ice celly? And then what did he choose, Pasha?
Stick between the legs. He starts riding the stick between the legs. His handlers are not okay. Like they're looking at each other. They're like, "Who's running this interview?" Like, because everything is structured when he gets there, right? Every interview, everything. Biz and I are in there. He's riding the fucking horse. Biz is grinding on him. His handlers like, "Who's supervising this? Like, who's in charge?"
I gave him the sweatiest, most awkward dap that guy had probably. I put him in a blender with my dap.
This just goes into the fact that if you go somewhere and you act like you own the place, you're just like, oh yeah, I'm here. Like,
it's crazy.
Most people are like, all right. Even his handlers, you'd think they'd be like, stop. They're just looking to pass the buck.
If you get drunk and high enough and have a crazy enough photographer / videographer, you can accomplish anything, folks. Sky's the limit.
Put that on my tombstone.
We got Pasha was rubbing his cock off.
Great job.
Pasha was rubbing his cock off because we got to interview Pete DeBoer for a little bit. We got him on the funny side, and then we got him on the serious side. He's awesome. He's a G. And then Pavelski, I told him, why you dodging us in the sandbaggers? He goes, I ain't.
Trust me.
I'm coming for you post retirement. And then I told him to let the kids play, and then he's probably gonna pot another 40 tucks this year.
Yeah. I didn't see any of those guys, but yeah, you got to. I think you did a little quick thing with Matthews too, right?
We got Bedard on the bench.
Who
is that? Bedard? Is that how you say his last name?
Bednar is the best coach.
I was like that number one overall.
You know why I
pick
said it like that? Because I'm jealous of his looks.
I was gonna say you're jealous how good he looks. Yeah,
he's a fucking missile.
Stallion.
I don't know what he does with his. I don't know what his skincare routine is, but they should get the 10 essentials from Bednar, not Bedard, who's going to the Coyotes rigged draft from fucking our boy. Who's our boy?
Bettman.
Yeah, Bettman.
Oh, we saw Bettman.
Bettman.
We saw Gary.
Gary Bettman. Fuck whatever Skechers sneaker deal you're getting. You owe $35,000 to Zegras. The fact that he showed up was not an all-star. He showed up here.
Oh yeah,
he should have.
You really had to twist his arm to come to Vegas.
He should at least pay for the tab that Zegras racked up at Hakkasan last night.
I think
his dad and all his buddies were down at the Chiclets Cup.
Merles and I were walking, looking for the box we had, and we're kind of walking down, and all of a sudden you look up, you see Gary, and there are like 7 of his, I don't know, if it's his security or his team or his trenchmen. They're behind him into a V, so he's just like leading the charge, and everyone's behind. I was like, look at Gary's staff. We're like, what's up, Gary? I don't think he knew who we were, but I said, I know Biz.
He knows you guys.
He splits a timeshare with Air Force One now. That's how big Gary's gotten.
All right, we met him at the All-Star game in San Jose. Remember that?
Yeah.
No, hey, listen, Gary's done a great job of growing the league. Now, I think this is a good segue to talk about the Coyotes and what he's been. No, it is. And listen, I work for the Coyotes.
You're joking right now, dude. You were bringing up the Yotes.
5,000 seats at the ASU Stadium. Good or bad, Whit? Good or bad? You tell me. ASU college campus students getting into the game, growing the game, tits on the glass.
We didn't talk about this last week?
Oh, no, we did. But it's Vegas. It's Vegas.
But Gary Bettman had to answer questions about it, so it's an even bigger deal. So
I didn't see any of the answers, so fill us in.
It's not very often Gary addresses the media. He did, I believe, at the outdoor game last, and then, of course, the All-Star game he speaks. And this is something that he's obviously doubled down on. Like we can't quadrupled. He's like Merles at the fucking craps tables at 4 a.m. with his fucking Skechers on the table, putting on the push line or the pass line or whatever the fuck that line is called. Gary, I'm with you. I want hockey in the desert to work. Give me all you got, Gary. How about you fucking rig it so Austin Matthews can come to the desert? He fucking grew up there.
Hey.
Sorry.
WWF.
Hey.
Sorry. What should the Coyotes, good or bad? We're getting fucking both guys.
Horrible. I actually heard there's a chance Shane Wright might refuse to be drafted.
Eli, he's throwing Eli fucking Manning on the Yotes.
Breaking news. I'm just kidding. But who knows? 5,000 seats, maybe he says, I don't think so, fellas.
I'm coming off the fucking top ropes on Shane Wright if he dodges the Coyotes.
Why wouldn't Eli have wanted to play for the Chargers, by the way? What a great place to live, San Diego.
Is Eric Lundjoss the last guy to dodge a place where he was drafted?
As far as I can remember, RA.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
say like officially.
I want Merles to chime in.
We were doing this back in the OHL.
Not we.
Well, I used to be cool. I used to be good. But my buddy Tim Conley was going to be the number 1 overall pick in the '98 OHL draft. And North Bay, is that a team?
Yeah, the Centennials. That's where I was drafted.
And we're like, we're not going there. He's not going there. He's like, I'm only going. He's like, I'm going to the U.S. program.
Just Erie.
He was not going to the U.S. program, but he got himself away from North Bay and Sudbury by using that to get drafted by Erie in the 5th slot.
Oh, okay.
So this has been going on, and yeah, it doesn't always become public, but
this is just a complete thing I made up. So
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Shane Wright has not said that.
So you're saying Shane Wright's going to say, Coyotes, I don't want to come, I'm going to college.
Oh, I think they won't even get to that point. It's the same. Why do you think Sidney Crosby was a lottery? It was Anaheim or Pittsburgh, the last 2.
Here's the thing, though.
You think they didn't know which envelope they picked?
You have a lot more leverage as a guy being drafted to the National League. Like, let's say I'm a team, right? And let's say that Shane Wright says, I don't want to come to the Coyotes. Well, I'm taking a dump on his parents' car in the driveway. That's a guarantee. And number 2 but they're going to pick him regardless because they can trade him for as many assets as they want as opposed to skipping on the guy.
What I'm trying to say is that we won't even get to that point. Phoenix will lose, or Arizona will lose the lottery.
Yeah, he's saying they'll never give them the first overall.
Yeah, they'll never get first overall.
You don't want. They're never going to want a stud there.
Yes,
sorry, Biz.
Exactly.
Let's move on from the shitbag Yotes.
The NHL won't let that happen.
And no offense, because that's harsh what I just said. That's harsh.
I played for Arizona Coyotes 3 games.
With Wayne?
Wayne was my coach. I had 3 games. I have a total of 12 minutes ice time. It's about the same as you, Biz.
Positive notes for the Yotes, just quickly to end this. Clayton Keller,
awesome.
Having a really sick year. He looked awesome out there. I know it's 3-on-3, but he's made a big step this year. So that's definitely what they need in terms of getting a little better. All right, what do you got, bud?
All 3 games went under. We're in Vegas. Got to talk Cam. When the final game had 3 disallowed goals, I got a question from Twitter. Biz at the only Tito says they should go 1 ref, no linesman, and take out the lines. What do you think? Just
for
the
All-Star
All-Star game, yeah, like pond hockey style almost.
I think I'm open to any idea for All-Star. I said that last week. I think you should make it Hunger Games style. I think that I think it's fair to say the skills, in my opinion, have taken over viewership-wise than the actual game. And sometimes it's hard to get the guys when competing against each other going as hard as they want, as opposed to like an individual skill. So maybe not maybe the final stage is like assembling a random team on both sides where they compete against each other for the money, but how you get there should be individual skills based. And if you're not good in those individual skills, you get dropped off of the first day, right? So you kind of eliminate them just like you would in what was the show?
Like a bracket kind of thing almost, right?
You bracket. There's so many fun, silly ideas you could do with the NHL All-Star Game in order to gain viewership. And I think that the smaller segments, like the skills, garner the most attention because it's then afterward the guys are a little bit looser because it's not a game. It's, you get the interview afterwards. So, but that's not. They did an incredible job incorporating new things. They did at the Bellagio fountain. So keep pushing the limits. Keep doing silly shit. Get more from the players behind the scenes. Keep pushing that narrative.
Merles, I said this to you. I like this idea. What if they did like Olympic style, like the 3-on-3? What if that's 3 USA players, 3 Canada players, 3 Sweden players? Because then people are going to get behind their country. You know what I mean? And then they'll get behind their fellow countrymen as well.
Maybe, yeah.
Olympic style. Build some nationalism.
There's enough players from all the countries now.
Exactly.
Big enough. And, obviously Canada's always going to be number 1. Give them 2 teams then. There's 2 Canadian teams.
Exactly.
But can you imagine if that final was U.S., Russia? We'd be like, all right, we got to watch this.
Exactly. Or even USA, Canada.
And then if you put the Swedes against the Finns, those guys they'll kill each other.
Yeah.
They'll go harder than they do in their NHL games.
I'm saying.
Lower the cage.
They just they
lower the cage.
Those guys have the
We're onto something
nationalism.
Here.
They'll go nuts.
So the Finns hate the Ruskies more than the Swedes, given like all the history there.
No, Finland, Sweden's the biggest rivalry for hockey. They always want to beat each other.
Well, you live in Sweden, so do they talk shit about Finns all the time?
Oh yeah, there's always the jokes and
what do they say? Like, I know when I was in England and I was living in Wales, and they used to call us sheep fuckers.
Well, yeah, it get me in a lot of trouble if I tell these jokes. And I gotta go live there.
No, buddy, I didn't. I played in Cardiff. I was called the sheep fucker too.
You were fucking sheep. That's why.
Hey, so, it was a lonely trip. 7 weeks. And there's no Bumble over there. Anyway, back to you. What's what would you say to someone from Finland? Like, yeah, you're a sauna addict.
Well, this is gonna be a lot of trouble. Like I'm considering myself a Swede. We're better than them already. You know what I mean? So we don't even deal with them. They chirp us. It's kind of like Canada, U.S. I don't have anything to chirp a Canadian because I already know I'm better. You guys are the ones that have the chirps against us. Does that make sense?
We have, I think 50% of our listeners are Canadian. So
I love Canada.
You've just lost half your EBR following.
I love EBR. I love Canada. We're coming up there soon. I get more messages. Can we get to Canada when you come? And I go, we're coming soon.
Double wrister for Canada. Thanks, Miles.
Hey, I love Canada more than anything. I played in the Toronto Metro League. Poutine is my favorite food in the world.
Love poutine.
Harvey's, no free ads, is my favorite burger joint.
Witt's fresh back from a mid-podcast crunch. Spit it out, Biz.
No, I just hit the pee. And sometimes you got to go when you got to go.
What's the next subject?
You didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything. I was just talking nonsense.
I mentioned the team won $1 million they're going to split, and if they're going to invest some of that dough, what should they do with it?
That's why we're here to talk about Alto. And Alto hopped in big time with the Chiclets Cup. They had their logo plastered around the boards in all 6 different arenas. And I was doing a bunch of different kind of ad reads and swipe ups. And I learned a lot more about the company. It's pretty cool idea to be able to invest in your retirement in a bunch of different ways besides the old-fashioned stock market. Now, real estate's a great thing, and that's part of Alto, along with crypto. I think it's the future of crypto, and along with artwork, wine, all these crazy things to diversify your portfolio. So we really appreciate Alto hopping on. Check it out. We had the MVPs of each division. So 8 MVPs. They all got $500 into the. What do you got, Mur?
Did I win?
No, Mur, you stunk. You're a coach now. You got retired. We want to thank Alto, and we also want to let everyone know that to get involved, you got to check out www.altoira.com/chiclets. It's ALTOIRA.com/chiclets. It's the future of crypto along with many other things. Check it out. And there's one other thing we need to address, because as we're recording, we're noticing on Twitter, there's an NHL alumni event post-game today. Now, the NHL alumni does a lot All-Star Weekend, and they had a bunch of different things going on. With the Chiclets Cup, some different interviews, a bunch of different things. Biz, I, myself, R.A., Grinelli, all of us, we were supposed to get involved with the NHL alumni today after the game. We ended up switching it up where Biz is staying and he's doing something tomorrow. The app wasn't updated for some people to check out the schedule of events. So for people who didn't update it, it said Biz and I were going to be there after the game for a meet and greet. Apparently there was a few people there, I don't know how many, that are pretty upset at us. And I don't know.
To the lengths where somebody went on stage and said, they're drunk, they didn't show up. And I'll be honest, I am crippled right now. But I promise you this, if you think that's what prevented me from showing up to that event, you're out of your goddamn mind.
You don't know, Biz. But to wrap it up, the people who were there, I'm guessing you're listening, and we apologize. It was a complete miscommunication, and Biz will actually be where he said he'd be at their event tomorrow or today if you're listening. So sorry about that.
Well, it's going to be on Sunday after the All-Star game.
I'm out to lunch.
I'll be there at 11 to 12:30. We can hang out. I'll sign whatever. I'll do whatever. I'll blow fucking the balloons where you make the animals.
I was like, I don't know. Wait
a minute.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna blow. You know, blow the balloon animals.
Yeah.
You know what I was.
Want me to come tomorrow? I can go.
Got him on his heels.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Merles, that would be an all-time. Can you blow?
Do you not want me to go? Merles,
yeah,
no.
Merle's here till Monday.
I don't know. It depends if we get pre-Hakkasan Merles, who turned into NYC Merles, breaking glasses because you were so crippled at dinner.
I went to bed. I was in bed by 11:30.
I'll say this: Mur got buckled at dinner.
That's the injury.
Mur got buckled at dinner. There was a little one of those game of telephone instances where Mur was buckled. A glass was broken. He got up and went to the bathroom. I heard. He's bleeding. He cut himself. I go into the bathroom to find him and make sure everything's okay. He was gone. He was smart enough. Another lesson for the people at home. When you know you've had enough and you're crippled, Mur just said, I'm taking myself out of the situation.
Don't be a lurker.
I'm shutting it down. And luckily, I said, where's the cut this morning when we met up? And he goes, it's right here. It's a paper cut, like half a centimeter. So I think that the broken glass was timed and gave you the message.
And it wasn't me. It was the kid next to me
there's
that
always
broke
a fork in the road.
Rudy. It's Rudy's fault.
Yes, I took the bullet for him. I jumped on the
you're a team guy, Mur.
There's always a fork in the road. There's Minnesota RA, or there's Murs putting himself to bed. Right? There's a fork. There's always a fork, and then all of a sudden you either end up puking at ice fishing or you end up fucking.
Great. I went home and went to bed. I woke up fresh today.
Buzzing.
Vegas.
The All-Star game.
Like Wally Pippin me right now, Biz.
No, I love it, buddy. I love it.
We haven't mentioned our guest yet, but we got a pair of Minnesota Wild players coming on in a bit. Jared Spurgeon and Marcus Foligno from our Winter Classic trip. Some good stuff coming. I want to talk about a couple of the other highlights from the skills competition on Friday. Kind of glossed over it. Kirill Kaprizov dressed up as Ovi.
Yep.
That's another player in the league shirt, and he did the squeeze bottle. And they did a little Sally fire stuff, but
fake birth certificate.
Putin made him do that.
That was one of his celebrations.
The black card.
I think that was one of the years he got 50. Was the celebration when the stick too hot, and he also he did it righty naturally, even though he's a lefty. So that was pretty good.
Wait, the goalie we had for the Big Deal Selects, Mike McKenna, was the goalie that he scored on. I think he said that.
That was McKenna out there.
He goes, I think wasn't it? He goes, I'm the goalie that he did the hot thing on. That was our goalie.
That is a fun fact.
The All-Star. You're talking about back when he scored the 50th.
When he scored that original thing that did the fire thing, it was Mike McKenna who ended up being the Big Deal Selects goalie.
Civ.
Stunk.
No offense, Mike. But yes, so a little fun fact towards the whole ball hockey tournament. Mike McKenna stepped in for a few games. Ball hockey's a different sport.
It curves.
It curves. The ball curves. A couple banana hooks here and there. McKenna, I hope you work on your ball hockey skills. But
your goalies gave up a lot of goals from the defensive end. Like you need better tending, and they were working and grinding. And shout out Dan. He's from the Wounded Warriors.
The Vegas Wounded Warriors.
The Vegas Wounded Warriors hockey team. He hopped in. He won you guys a game.
Yep.
And after I was chatting with him, and it was on our Twitter, I said, "Great job." He said, "Yeah, I actually didn't want to say it before, but I'm blind in one eye from when he was, fighting for our country." So that was a great moment. But as I pump his tire, you also kind of were really struggling the second game, Dan. I love you. So you need some goaltending before Buffalo.
Big Deal Selects are looking for a goalie for Buffalo.
Biz, you actually talked
exactly.
You talked to Gronk earlier about potentially being the goalie.
What?
His brother in the booth.
Yeah, Gordy Gronk was in the booth with
Gordy
us. He
Gronk, the
FaceTimed
older
him.
Gronk,
played goalie?
who should be getting credit for all the success because the older brother is always the one beating him up to make him strong enough to compete at higher levels.
You're welcome,
we had him
Colin
on
and Sean.
FaceTime.
We asked him to play, and then he volunteered himself to be goalie, and that's when I called Biz over. I'm like, this is your guy. This is your goalie.
Now it brings us back to when Biz talked about bringing the group in for this trip. On the bench guys, Jacob and Ollie, thanks for coming. I kind of mentioned, you're going a little celebrity route. Do you want to win or do you want to make it a show? So he needs a goalie to win. So Gronk would be amazing, and would you pass over winning for content? Like, that's the decision you have to make. Are you down to win, or are you down to keep being the most entertaining man in hockey?
I'll talk to Terry Ryan Sr. after this Vegas trip, after he's gotten a 7-day rest period, and we're gonna go back to the drawing board. Maybe we'll bring on Stevie Bongrips as a team, maybe assistant general manager.
Somebody said they saw him in a dispensary here in Vegas during the game. Yeah, he was hitting it up.
I'm telling you, I got a guy. I'm telling you, I'm done. I'm done playing. I'm going to move. I'm going to move to the bench. I have somebody to replace me, and these are the national team. These are the Canadian national team guys telling me this, that he's the best ball player they've ever seen. He's a current NHLer.
And you're not going to give it away, right?
I'm not going to tell you yet, but I got him signed for the Big Deal Select.
Current NHLer?
He's in the current NHL. And these guys are playing this ball hockey. They say that's the best player I've ever seen. You heard the conversation.
Yep.
I got him for us.
Teddy was getting shout out too in terms of dominating.
I stink. I know you want to get rid of me out of the organization. You're trying to get rid of me out of the organization. But
no, he's a lefty.
I got to keep myself in the organization. I'm going to bring this guy for us, and then I'm just coaching. I'm going to open the door.
I'm
brutal
coaching.
with the door opening.
I'm the head coach with Terry Sr., but he needs a little help with
we keep getting sucked back into the ball hockey talk because it's such a.
That's what we do on the show.
It was a great weekend. I have a million other things to say about it.
Little Jack Hughes, that was a great little skit. In the spirit of Vegas. Chris Angel, David Copperfield act. Did you guys catch that? He put the.
He was fucking Chris Angel mind freak at Hakkasan until 4 a.m. last night, and then the blackjack table. Did you guys see the first game he played in the All-Star game?
Didn't Hughes say he wants us right when you saw him at Hakkasan restaurant? Didn't he say I want you in a sandbagger? Didn't he call you out?
Yeah, him and Quinn.
Oh, you guys, these Hughes brothers. They're in for one.
The big swinging dicks want a piece of the action with the sandbagger. But let's talk about his first shift. Let's not talk about the first game. Let's talk about the first shift. He must have missed the net by a country mile. He was seeing the vodka. You know what really got him? Was Grinelli's ace of spades off the hop.
The 850 bottle of champagne.
That was the one that got him. So thank you to Grinelli for all you Hughes fans.
Remember the Jack Hughes diehard that was screaming in the bar, Jack Hughes is a top 7 player.
Yeah, when you go to these meet and greets that we do, it's 99 out of 100 the best people. There's always one complete idiot. This kid, by the end of the night, all of a sudden he's beeline over towards me. I said, what's this guy doing? He gets in my face. Name me 3 players on the Colorado Avalanche better than Jack Hughes. I said, McKinnon, Rantanen, Makar.
And Bedard.
The coach, Connor Bedard. I said, he goes like this. Oh, okay, 4. I mean, what do you mean? I said, you just asked me for 3. Kadri's number 4. I love Jack Hughes.
Don't forget Landeskog.
I love Jack Hughes, but right now, those 4 guys are better hockey players in the NHL, and that will change. But let me finish. So he got a little upset, and I went to say what I just said. I said, Jack Hughes is going to be a stallion. You said right now, and you came out of nowhere, and I don't even know who you are. And I decided to leave after. I was with Fights, Biz, Murr. We go outside. He starts screaming at the top of his lungs with his buddy basically trying to quiet him and tackle him. He's a fucking top 7 player in the league. Admit it. I was like this. You got it, bud. You got it. Whatever you
That's when
say.
you bust out the taser and the mace. The meet and greet special right there, folks.
So
but
I
say
love
this.
Jack Hughes.
Can
But
anybody
the
on the
Avalanche have some good players?
Can anybody on the Colorado Avalanche chug vodka out of a vodka bottle better than Jack Hughes can at Hawkesson?
No.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So
not.
he's top one in your
and
books.
he dangles anyone he wants. So yeah, Jack Hughes. Talk to me in 5 years.
Anyways, he had a little kid they brought out. I want to shout out. That's Frosty Scapetto, the equipment guy in New Jersey. That was his son, Brecken.
No way. That was his son?
Yeah, it was Frosty's son.
That's great.
So that was pretty cool stuff to see. And DeBrincat dressed up as Alan from The Hangover with all that. It's pretty fun stuff. Biz, we left the building.
Who wears more eyeliner, Derek Carr or Machine Gun Kelly?
Machine Gun Kelly's like 6'8", but he was enormous.
Apparently they were just lighting a bunch of weed up in their room before he came on for the show. Are you a big Machine Gun Kelly guy?
He was probably teeing up Megan Fox like in the locker room in between the final. Like that guy does not give a shit. He's got tongue rings.
Shower
Remember
notch?
he painted his tongue black. I actually like his music. I think he's got some jams.
He's unbelievable.
Are you a fan, Biz, or no? That's a no.
I'm a big Eminem guy, so when he kind of went at Eminem, it was, I wouldn't say Eminem, but I wouldn't say Eminem's diss track was the best he ever did, but it was way better than Machine Gun Kelly's.
100%.
Oh, I didn't know he did it.
But I respect what he's doing. I respect the fact that he could land a girl like Megan Fox, and I don't know about the lip rings he's rocking.
And they drank each other's own blood, which Billy Bob Thornton did with Angelina Jolie. Like, if you run into a couple, as we're teaching the youngins lessons this episode, and they're drinking each other's blood, you could pretty much guarantee that relationship isn't going to last.
Yeah, their engagement party looks like the Roenick fucking prank story setup. That's what their engagement
They
looks
just
like.
eat a gallbladder and then put the rings on.
Everybody's reverse 69 with IVs out of each other's cocks and vagina. It's a sick freak show. It's like the Mad Max. Remember the bad guy who's got all the things coming out of his necks and the tubes?
Oh, yeah, and he's at the front of the truck.
Yeah, like R ate a slot machine at 5 a.m. when he was in bed at 12.
Till today.
Oh, he didn't?
Yeah, first time.
And he's up $1.50.
Penny
right?
slots?
Yeah, I'm a sports guy, not much of a table guy. But, Biz, we left the game roughly the same time. The skills competition. And, dude, I've been to dozens of venues all over the place. I had never seen staff behave like that before. Remember they kept...
What do you mean?
They were waving on the way out.
No, they were nice on the way out. The old ladies were waving. But
they were
then
unbelievable.
When we got out the door, they were like, all right, you got to move further. And, like, remember Ann Cicada was pissed. I'm like, all right, well, how further do we need to go? All they had to say was past that sign. And the kid fucking, like, threatened me. Like, I was like, and I go, did you just threaten me? Not I'm a tough guy, just, like, shocked at a fucking arena worker. And
what was the threat, though?
It was like, we always step up. But anyways, like I said, I've been all over the place. I'd never seen staff in an arena act like this. Ann Cicada was like, he was bullshit. They were, like, just fucking, like, acting like total assholes. So whoever runs T-Mobile, everything inside was great, but outside...
Rough and rowdy, RA versus the arena staff.
Nah, man,
what's the arena called here?
T-Mobile.
Do you not remember, Biz?
No free ads.
We were getting moved every 5 feet.
We should do like a 3-way Russian UFC where like RA takes on the people who are cutting off everybody's access to watch the Colorado Avalanche in the state of Colorado.
He's got an army
with
those people.
The staff of the rink here, and then who would
people
you bring?
who bring cats on planes.
And people, so we're going like Chinese checkers of UFC fighting here. Who else would be involved in your ultimate? Who would you want? Like, let's list them. The cable networks for sure on the list. Arena staff in Vegas. People who bring cats on planes. Which somebody sent me a picture, a video of a cat outside of one of the where you go on the plane
terminal.
A terminal. Thanks, G, for hopping in there. And I will say, if it would have was meowing as much as it was meowing, I would have been irritated. What other things annoy you to the level of you want a 6-person UFC, lower the cage, ladder match,
last man standing,
Continental title? Let's play for keeps, RA!
We're in a hotel, so people who are fucking loud as fuck in the hallway all hours of the day.
The loud fuckers at night.
Vegas is a tough one for that.
The dudes putting the R&B on and going to tee off on their old ladies for 3 hours.
Speaking of
in
that,
the room next to RA, putting on a show. Because we're a doot.
Hey, that's Pasha, by the way. That's because last night Pasha was running around the hallway, hammering on a door. Terry Sr. answers the door. It's like 4 a.m. Pasha goes, I need to have a beer with you, Terry. He's like, get away from me right now.
Terry Ryan Sr.
Senior.
I got out of the shower the other night, like fucking knock on the door. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I open the door. Biz like, all right, this is your room. I got to piss. Like he just knocked on a random door. He had to piss so bad.
Slammed in.
If I could walk in.
If he said I just shit, would you let him?
Yeah,
100%.
What a guy you are.
Oh shit, man.
Yeah, I had a piss bomb going.
All right, moving away from things that grind my gears, Biz, I need to know how many of the no days wasted you ripped through Friday during the games?
I've done none. I did a couple of their electrolyte packs, the hydration replenishers, but I'm going to be honest, sometimes, guys, I like the punishment.
You just want to like remind yourself that you can deal with the pain of being hungover.
I'm like a drinking Navy SEAL. Like I want to get dunked in the ocean at 6 a.m. I want to have to do 1,000 push-ups. I want my body to ache. I want to have tremors at night. I want to just suffer through it. But if you don't want to suffer through it, Merles,
no days wasted.
Like you did kind of at the dinner last night, but you put yourself to bed. You would get DHM Detox, no days wasted, an unbelievable product, and we're going to give them a Biz20 promo code for 20% off. It's all natural, folks. It breaks down the toxins of the alcohol before it even gets to your liver. Keep the fucking change. NBD. And they even advance the products. They have a multivitamin. You wake up in the morning, you take the gummies, you can get your vitamin D, you get vitamin B, you can get whatever RA's got in his fucking treasure drawer. You can get whatever you want. And I mentioned their hydration replenisher, and I'll tell you what, I crush a shit ton of water on a day-to-day basis. Even for days I'm not drinking, I use this stuff. It just helps retain the water a little bit. They have great tasting flavors like the lemon lime. I personally like the watermelon OG flavor. They're going to have a couple more coming out. Nishal, he's a great guy. He's a buddy from Vancouver. Hey, did you guys ever hear that I handed out at weddings? And I handed out at weddings back home in Vancouver. So check it out. DHM Detox, no days wasted, 20% off. How about that fucking ad read? Put that in your
maybe
pipe
the best of your career.
And one more things that grinds RA's gears are people that let their dog shit on your front porch and they don't clean it up.
I mean, I think that would grind anyone's fucking
yes,
gears, right?
I personally like it.
I got a dog.
I like it.
We got a dog. I'm going home to a dog.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we got a dog, Yoshi. So they just got him today, and then tomorrow I'll be meeting him. Can't wait.
Nice.
Thanks, buddy.
One more time.
Never had a dog before.
RA doesn't give two shits.
He's like, just do not let that thing near me.
I'm a dog guy. I just don't own one, but I'm not anti-dog by any stretch. No days wasted.co biz, promo code biz20 for 20% off. And now we're going to send it to Jared Spurgeon. All right, well, it's time to bring on our next guest. This guy was a 6th-round pick in the 2008 draft. He's already in his 12th season with the Minnesota Wild, his 2nd as a captain. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to play in the Winter Classic due to injury, but he's with us right now. Thanks so much for joining us, Jared Spurgeon. How's it going, brother?
It's good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Good. How you feeling? I know it's an undisclosed injury, but how you feeling?
Good. Getting there every day. Sort of frustrating time to be out, but with all the excitement and stuff like that. But it's fun seeing the guys, the old school look out there, so they're having fun with it.
Are you still going to be able to take part in any of the festivities with the game and stuff? I know you obviously can't play.
Pre-game soccer match with the guys.
Might be out there.
I'll be good for the LD injury.
I'm just going to stay inside, I think, with how cold it's going to be. So I'll be having some drinks in there, hot chocolate, some coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Little Baileys in there, maybe get a little groove on during the game.
Feel good.
Yeah. You should be used to this being from Edmonton, no?
Yeah, no, I went to the first, like that Heritage Classic one.
Oh, my God.
It was freezing there, so I went to, I think we were there for the practice the day before, and I looked at my dad. I was like, I'm not going tomorrow. He's like, you're going. I spent this money. You're going. So I bucked up, went there, but it was freezing.
I remember that game. It was Montreal, Edmonton, and the guys were just that's probably going to be similar. I think it'll be just as cold, though, in this one.
It was like -40 with the wind. It was awful.
Yeah, so much so I think Theodore put on the toque for warm-up, and the guys were like, keep it. So he ended up playing the full game in the toque. Yeah. Would that be something you do, like the eye black, maybe throw in the ear warmers?
I was looking Tom Brady, maybe get the scuba gear. I was telling them to get the full outfit underneath because it is freezing out there.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
What was the weather like when you played against Chicago? That was at the Gophers football stadium, right?
Yeah, that one was perfect. It was like 25. It started snowing at the end, so we actually had to turn the heaters off on the bench. Like it was that nice. So a little different this time around.
Yeah.
But it's still gonna be great. Minnesotans are pretty used to the cold.
Yeah,
so
they don't care.
They'll be out there boozed up.
I mentioned getting drafted in 2008. I think a lot of people are curious. You were drafted by the Islanders, and then you signed as a free agent with Minnesota. What happened there? Did they renounce your rights? Like, take us through that process, how that went down.
Yeah, they just had drafted another couple D-men ahead of me, and obviously a 6th-round pick wasn't too high on their list. So went to one camp. I missed the second one. I had shoulder surgery in the off-season, so didn't go there. And then when you got time to sign, there wasn't much talk, so... I think my agent phoned like the day before. Was like, hey, like we're doing AHL anything, and they're like, no, you're good. So luckily got to try out here in the summer, and then went from there. Went to Traverse City.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, pretty understated though. Like it was like last minute the fact that you end up getting to Traverse City to even like get involved with the Wild. Where I heard that there was a story that you were planning on maybe heading over to Europe to maybe play with your brother at that time.
Yeah, so I was gonna go play Salzburg Red Bull. So I had that sort of in the back pocket, and then my agent was like, well, you got Traverse here with Minnesota, so did that. Figured you're trying out for all the teams there at the time, sort of showcase your stuff, and worked out from there. We had a great team in Houston too that we ended up going to the finals that year, so it couldn't have worked out better.
So that year, I think you only played around 20 games in the minors, right? And was it you were playing that well, it was called up, you got your chance, and then went back down for the playoffs? Is that how it went?
Yeah, so my 21st birthday got called up on, so that was pretty cool.
Were you hurting, though?
Huh? No, luckily it was the actual game day, so it was perfect. But no, the team in Houston was doing really well, so I think that definitely helped. And they had a couple injuries up here, so I think there was one guy already up, and then I happened to be the next guy in line, so it was in Calgary, close to home. Family came to watch, so it's pretty special.
Do you ever stop to think that you were this close from going overseas? And you're such an incredible player. You probably would have eventually came back and established an NHL career. But sometimes, like, guys do get lost in the shuffle, and they end up having a great career over there. Like, do you ever just stop and think of like the fact that you were days away from going there, and then now this is your life in the NHL?
Yeah, I think it's all about opportunity and your chances. Like you said, there's so many good players that play the game that just don't get that chance, whereas maybe a D-man doesn't get hurt and then they miss their opportunity to come up and show their stuff, and they're stuck behind someone. So definitely would have been different. It worked out, obviously. I love it here, so it's great.
Do they get your flat passes in transition that Suter was pumping your tires on? You think that's what eventually got you to the National Hockey League?
Flat ones, yeah.
He says in transition you threw the flattest passes, always on the tape, never really jamming up his partner, throwing grenades at him.
I try, yeah. Well, then I don't have to play D-zone. I can get going the other way. So
give me that ozone.
Get out, yeah.
What were you going to say there?
I was just going to say, in the end, though, if he'd gone to Europe, he could have ended up KHL playing for maybe CSK, maybe more than 7.
Oh, yeah.
So, made $100 million over there, a little puck defenseman in Europe.
Yeah, you took a pay cut to play for Billy G.
Tell Billy down there.
Yeah.
Let him know.
Yeah, seriously, Billy, you're getting a deal.
Yeah.
As an undersized defenseman with good offensive instincts, was there any players you modeled yourself after as a kid, as a young guy?
Was a huge fan of Dan Boyle, Rafalski, so we watched them growing up once. I was a forward growing up until I was 14, then switched up.
That's when I switched. We have a lot of similarities in our game, too.
Yeah. So, switched when I was like 14, 15, so that's when I started watching. But when I was a kid growing up, it was Dougie Waite. So tell Billy that every day, too. It was always Dougie, not him, and the Oilers. So
when he used to pass it to you, Billy, I was like, give it back to Dougie.
Yeah, toss it back.
Going back to the fact that this is an outdoor game, you and your brother Tyler, you guys battle quite a bit on the pond at Edmonton growing up. Like, was there a lot of that going on? Yeah,
we had the backyard rink for 2 years, and now having one, I know why my dad stopped right away. Like, it's hard work.
Oh, so, you got one in your yard right now?
Yeah, right now for the kids, but it sucks shoveling. They don't help ever. So I was like, no wonder he gave us the rink like blocks away. So, but we were 4.5 years apart. So I was always trying to catch up to him, and he's bigger, stronger than me. Still is to this day. So he still beats the wheels off me.
At those times, I mean, being younger, and were you always like dreaming of playing in the NHL? It was something that your whole life you were like. It wasn't like, I don't know, who cares? It was more like, this is my goal. This is all I want.
Yeah, and I think, well, you played in Edmonton. You know how passionate the fan base is there. So.
I felt it.
Why are you laughing when you say that?
Because he remembers rooting for the Oilers, booing me before he made it to the NHL.
I was on the other side. I was a fan. But no.
He was booing you in the tunnel.
He was booing me as he walked me.
Yeah, but just being there, that's all you have really is the Oilers. So that's what you grew up wanting to do. And outdoor rink, I think every Christmas, that was the one thing you asked for, is like your favorite player's jersey to rip around on the outdoor rink. So from a young age, and having an older brother that played, that he was a good player as well. So chasing him, trying to catch up, like I said, and just getting my feet walked. Outdoor rink, just getting dominated all the time. It was motivation to get there.
Going into the draft, were you expecting to get picked? I know you said you went in the 6th round, but I mean, obviously a bunch of teams missed on you. You're a hell of a player. Like, what were you thinking going into the draft?
Not really. I had not honestly just sort of pissed off. You see like those rankings come out, and you see players that you think you're better than and are ranked above you type thing, but never really thought I was going to get drafted. And my buddy Tyler Ennis actually phoned me the day I was sleeping. I think it was a Saturday, Sunday, a little sleeping. But I got the phone call, and he said I got drafted. And I was like, no way. And then he's like, brought me the jersey home, went and got it for me. So it was pretty special to share that with a guy you grew up with.
Why? Because he was at the draft and he heard it get announced, so he was bring it
he
back?
was a first rounder, so he was there. Nice guy. Went back, got my jersey for me.
I'll take a picture of the stage for you.
Okay, so you don't hear a lot about Tyler Ennis, but he's a pretty interesting cat off the ice, I hear.
Yeah, he is a great guy.
Does he bring all the entertainment as far as the friendship?
Yeah, he's the energy driver, that's for sure. So I'm more mellow, sort of laid back, and he's pretty laid back too. He likes to play it off like he doesn't know much, but smart guy, knows how to work his way around the room. So
he's played a long time too.
I think this first time we've ever met, and I was going to say you're pretty soft spoken. Like what are your from a leadership standpoint? Like, are you just kind of the calm demeanor guy that guys can walk up and talk to? Do you kind of just do by example? Do you ever once in a while did the wires cross? Do you fucking snap in the locker? I can't picture you being the snapping kind of captain.
Not a full snap, but I'll stand up in there, and that's why I got Moose to my side. I got Marcus there. He's the snap one. I was just give him a little nudge, like, hey, it's your time. It's your time. But no, I've always sort of just been. I think when you talk too much, that's when guys sort of shut you out and stuff that. So be on the ice. Obviously, speak up when you see something going on, but not going to rip into a guy if I don't feel the need to do it.
Now, with this team, it doesn't seem like you'd have to do that much. You guys are playing incredible hockey right now. Great coach. I mean, you got Billy G as the GM. Things are going really, really well for you guys. So, just from a group coming into this season, what was the goal feeding off of last year, and where do you think you guys are at right now as a group?
Yeah, I think just improving off of that last year. I think obviously it was weird with no fans and everything like that. So just the excitement of having full buildings again brings that energy. Being able to do stuff out of the rink, get the team parties back on, and the rookie parties and all that's always exciting. So being able to do that kind of stuff again. But I think just with Billy coming in, just the standard he set right from the start, he's a pretty intense guy. So being able to build off that, obviously winning as a player and in management as well, he knows what he's doing.
He mentioned to us last night just about how open he is, right? I came in and there was a lot of kind of secrecy in terms of hockey ops and game ops and everything, and now it's more of a real family, he's trying to say. Do you notice that even with not just the guys in the team but the entire organization, people are just maybe a little more social, a little more discussion going on around everyone?
Yeah, I think you see it at the practice rink right now. We go down to eat lunch and you're sitting with trainers, front office, everything. Nice. So there's no, if you have a fuck you, you're going to fuck you. So, but after that, you eat your meal and leave the rink, and the next day it's good. So, but it's good. You just have open relationships with everyone from coach, front office. So, yeah, it's not saying it's laid back, but it's more inclusive.
And the big news that we talked to him about was the buyout of Parisi and Suter. And so, take me through, your reaction. I mean, I'm sure when you heard it, you were a little surprised, no doubt.
Yeah, he phoned me, obviously working super hard in the gym in the summer. And,
you and Ennis.
Laying Ennis down there. Yeah, laying on the mat for probably a 2-hour rollout. But
pump on a foam roller.
Yeah. But, he phoned me, and honestly, I had no idea that it had happened. So it took me by surprise for sure. And but Billy has a plan. He has a plan, and we trust in him, so go from there.
I want to say it was Russo who reported Billy G. They came over to your house to surprise you, and one of your daughters was like, "Wait, are you coming here to fire my father?"
Yeah, she wasn't too excited, so that was the first question. So he brought them all in around the table, asked my daughter Colby. She's like, "What do you think I'm doing here?" She's like, "Are you firing my dad?" I was like, "Well, are you? Like, what's going on here?" So it turned out to be a better surprise, but yeah, it was awesome.
Maybe that's the lower body injury. 4 kids you have, right? Holy
it works.
jeez.
It works.
Really? No more sack left.
Yeah, in and out 4 times, and that's it.
That's your ball bag.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right.
Yeah.
Imagine 4 kids, buddy.
No. I have none. I already had a vasectomy, so I couldn't imagine having 4. So
Yeah.
that's right, TMI. But hey,
I can't even handle 2.
He needs to know a guy.
Yeah, help me out. Help me out over here.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's not as bad as they say. But going back to Guerin, is it pretty rare, I guess, for a team to kind of build off its own GM? I mean, you don't see that in this league where, a GM, his energy kind of transfers to the team. It seems like that's what's going on here.
Yeah, he's obviously an intense player growing up. I've seen a couple YouTube videos, a couple slashes that we bring up every once in a while.
The training camp slash?
Yeah, that one comes up. We watch it in secret, though. Don't show him. But I think you just, like, the energy and just the intensity he brings when he walks into a room. You always know he's ready to go, and it trickles down. It definitely does.
I don't know. I've never talked to anyone that's played for Dean Evanson. Today he gets rewarded. I think all the coaching staff got extensions, but playing for him, what's it like? Is he kind of more quiet? Is he very open? Like what's the whole deal with him coaching this team?
He's open. He's awesome. He's loves offense.
Nice.
A lot of not running gun, but responsibilities on the player with the puck. So for defensemen, it's awesome. You got the freedom to roam around the offensive zone, do what you do, and if a player turns it over, and that's not your fault. So, but he's a great communicator. He's intense. Obviously, he's played a lot of NHL games himself, so he understands it. Loves days off. So so we love that. But he's very open but intense at the same time.
I want to go back to when you said that last year you guys didn't maybe have enough time to spend with the team. Did you have the opportunity to have a rookie party? And what did you guys have Kirill do at the rookie party in order to get the boys entertained?
He can't speak English very well, so
Perfect.
Fed him some booze. That was about it. But we were in Tampa, so we actually went out to sort of an outdoor bar the night before, and then we went to Monday Night Football. So got the rookies to dress up in some pretty good pirate costumes and let them take that in. So Kirill, he's actually an awesome guy. Great English, just lies to everyone. Pretends he can't speak, but
that's what all of them do.
Malkin mastered that.
Yeah, can hold the interview just fine. Comes to the house like talking better than me. So he's great.
Yeah, Rosetta Stone helped him out. Because I mean, we tell the Malkin stories all the time about how he all of a sudden you were talking offense and he was fluent in English and defensive responsibilities would come up right back to not knowing a fucking lick of English.
Just say this. What?
And one of the stories that came up when we had Foligno on was that training camp story early on when it was clear that he had all this talent and he was maybe being held back a little bit. When did you catch wind of that and what was your initial reaction?
Well, I was the guy on the other end of the text that was supposed to come to. So he was texting me on the other side and the group chat came out of the groups. So he texted me, he goes, "What the fuck? Like, why aren't I in your group?" I was like, "Dude, it's just like there's restrictions. There's only so many guys like." And this Marcus Johansson, he's played 500 games in the league. Like, just we'll be together soon. And all of a sudden it pops up, and I look at my wife. I go, "Oh fuck!" Like it's in the wrong chat. And then he sends me a text right after. He goes, "Oh boy!" And then I just waited. I was like, "You'll be fine. Just play it off tomorrow. I'll just laugh about it." But he was good. But like for the next 5 minutes, my phone was just like ding ding ding. It's like, "What do I do? What do I do?" I was like, "Just leave it. Just laugh with it, guys. We'll be fine with it." Just pretend you don't.
Tell everyone who you think is a scrub. That
lost in translation. Yeah. Bad Google research, just whatever you put in. But yeah, that was hilarious.
He must keep the room pretty loose, huh, Moose?
Yeah. You can tell he's lived in a dressing room his entire life. So he's awesome, loud guy, but knows how to keep it light in there. We got a couple of those guys, so they just feed off each other. But I think that's the nice thing about the room. The last couple of years is sort of. We know when to get serious, but at the same time, practice days and stuff like that, there's a lot of joking going on.
I mentioned the captaincy. Were you ever captain at any level before the Wild?
Growing up, we'd sort of rotate between. It would be myself and Tyler Ennis sort of rotate around growing up. And then in junior as assistant captain for, I think, 2 or 3 years. So, but like I said, you don't really change the person you are, I don't think. You just sort of, if you do that, people see right through you. But not a yelling guy, but if I see something, maybe take you aside and let you know.
Did you ever consider the college route, like undersized D-man, or was it always WHL kind of growing up?
For me, it was always WHL. Yeah. Just at that, especially at that time, it wasn't really talked about for Western guys to go to college. And having my older brother play in the WHL, I sort of saw that, and he played in Kelowna. He was 3 Mem Cups in a row, so I got to go to.
Oh, they had
3 in a row.
I think Josh Georges was there at the time, and they had some fucking wagons.
So he went 3, won the second one they went to in Kelowna, so I was there. So just seeing that, I was like, this is what I want to do. But it wasn't really a thought ever. But now looking back at it, you're just like, well, there is more options than you could have gone to. And I think I was drafted to the USHL, but I think Cedar Rapids. Yeah, they phoned me. They're like, hey, we drafted you. I was like, what is this? Like, I had no idea the USHL even was a thing. So there's no chance I was going there. But ended up in Spokane, Washington anyways.
Was it similar as far as attendance and the way it was ran? Because Kelowna, I compare it, at least at that time, to the London Knights of the Western Hockey League, where you're getting it sold out. Kelowna's a pretty good Western city. You're treated incredible. Like, what was it like when you got there, and then eventually to when you guys ended up winning the Mem Cup, correct?
Yeah. So my first year, I think we won like 12 games. So it was tough sled in the first year. Then second year we made playoffs and it was a bit better, but Spokane is a hockey market once you get in there.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of hockey players now. I think you had Tyler Johnson there. So they always seem to sprinkle in one local kid that would bring people in and everything like that. But Bobby Brett, the owner, he was great with us. And at the time we had Tim Speltz as our GM. And I think by the year we won the Mem Cup, every Saturday, Sunday, we had like 8,000 to 9,000 fans in there every night. So it was awesome.
Where did you guys win the Mem Cup?
Kitchener. So we went
you had to win the league to get there. And
stuff, so it was Kitchener, Belleville, and Gatineau, I think, at the time. So there's Drew and Byron were the big guys on Belleville. There, Subban was Belleville. And then Kitchener was just loaded with everyone.
Why do you think, even though you weren't signed with the Islanders, that after that experience, that no other team had picked you up? Like, I mean, like you brought that team, you know, like, and developed and ended up winning a Mem Cup. You're on the biggest stage. Like, what ended up happening?
I think at the time the game was just changing to more skating. At the time, there were still a lot of bigger guys, still holding, a lot of grabbing, a lot of more physical play. So I think at that time it was just starting to turn over to the smaller players. So I think teams were still scared of maybe throwing a guy back there that wasn't the biggest guy. So whereas now you just see more and more of them, and even the big guys, it's not fair. Those guys can fly now. So they used to be the big guys that you're like, well, they're slow, so I'm better than that guy. But now the 6'5" guys are flying around out there.
Oh, buddy.
It's a little different.
Started. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's lucky, though. I mean, you came along at the right time. I mean, it was perfect timing for you, because you think of guys like you maybe 20 years ago that never really got a chance. Because I remember playing against you one of your first games. I was like, Jesus Christ, you could just fly. Like, your game's always been skating. Had you never got the chance, though, who knows?
Yeah, the old rule is 0 chance.
Seriously.
Look at those games and just like getting out corners or taking a guy wide or something like that. There's 0 chance. I remember playing against Robin Regier, one of my first.
When he would just go like this?
Yeah, I was trying to get around him. I was like, this isn't even fair, man. Like, at that time, I was like 158 pounds, just trying to get around this guy. And there was no chance. So I was like, those rule changes definitely helped me.
When you broke in with Minnie, was there like a long-time defenseman on the team that sort of was like a mentor to you, or kind of brought you along a little bit? Or?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of guys. They had Nick Schultz back there. He was an awesome guy. Yeah, awesome. So he was probably the first one to bring me in. We had Brent Burns at the time as well. So he was the energy of the group at that time. But Andrew Brunette was at the time playing. He just little things with patience. When I finally got on the power play, he just talked me through stuff and so just teach you little things. So we had a great room of veterans at that time, and that definitely helped.
How many years did you have to wait to get your shot on the PP? Was it a couple years or?
Yeah, my first year, I had nothing. It was just 5-on-5 strictly, and then I got one game, I think, where Zidlicki got hurt, so I got thrown in there. So, but
please get a point, please.
Yeah,
get a point.
yeah, come on. But after that, I think to be like fully on a unit was probably like 2 to 3 years. So, but I think that sort of helped myself as well, just rounding out my defensive game and trying to be a guy that could produce 5-on-5 and take a pride in penalty killing as well to get your minutes up.
And to become the player you are now, it's almost like, all right, let's be a great defensive defenseman, and then when I get my chance, I can do it all. But if you had just been thrown on the PP at the beginning, maybe it's like, I'm just an offensive guy.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's like the thing that a lot of younger guys don't really realize is that if you start as a defenseman and you round out your defensive game first, and then you have that offensive side, that you're going to get more opportunities than you are if you're just straight offense. So.
Bruce Boudreu quoted as saying you were the best defenseman that no one knows about. What was your time with him, and obviously with Vancouver and stuff like that? He's a silly guy behind the scenes.
He's eating that up right now. He pretends like he's not, but he loves it.
He's on Cameo and stuff. He's doing Cameo for fans. Oh,
he's on Cameo. A Bruce Boudreau Cameo?
For $38.
You're double the price of him.
I don't do Cameo anymore, but But thanks for the plug, Whit. I've actually just raised it.
I'm back.
Go back.
But obviously, he's a silly character. Like, do you have any stories about him when he was your coach, and like other things that would make you guys laugh?
I have a ton of stories.
Let's
I'm not
go.
sure if I can let him out, but no, Bruce. He had some. Hope. I don't even know which one to start with, but
we can cut any bad ones that you end up telling that can't go in it.
Okay, but you literally gotta cut this one. But no, there was one time I think we're in New York and we're staying in a hotel, and I think it was an early game, like maybe at 5:00 one. So don't go to the rink, and Bruce game day is always in his suit tie, like he wears it from breakfast on. So I think he sleeps in it. So we're sitting there, and he loves his ice cream after pregame meal, and the spoons aren't out, so you can just see him pacing back and forth. Everyone's kicking each other under the table, and he leaves, but he has a bowl, and we're all just like, what the hell is going on? Like, there's no spoons. And you go, and he had just taken a little out with his hand and put it in the bowl.
That started COVID.
And we're all just like, you can just see the fingerprints
Omicron.
going in there, but we're all just like, what is happening right now? But he needed that ice cream.
Yeah, definitely a laid back coach, all right.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I don't think
I love him.
I don't think Everson's picking ice cream out with his hands. What's some of the big changes that he brought to the room? Like the whole tenor of the team changed. What's what basically changed under him that was different before?
I think Bruce is pretty. He was pretty defensive oriented, so it was always defense first. And for like a D-man jumping into the rush, he wanted that, but at the same time, it wasn't risk taking. It was more you had to be 100% sure. Whereas now you can go, and if we have 4 in the rush, if we have 2 D down low, Dean doesn't really care as long as someone's up top covering for you. So I think that's the biggest thing, just the freedom to play offense.
You've been playing with Goligoski mostly this year, right?
Yeah, Goose is awesome.
Great guy.
Steady Eddie,
awesome,
man.
but, yeah.
You play with him in Wilkes-Barre coming up through the Pittsburgh organization, still getting it done. I think he's, 20 assists the last 12, 13 season. He's fucking crazy.
No, he's an awesome guy. He's so smart. He's such a smooth skater. And just the way he breaks pucks out, getting back to him. And I think obviously that's his skating ability and how smart he is. But you're not really stuck in D-zone very, very often with that guy, so that's nice. I just watch him go in the corners, sort of sit net front and then jump the other way.
Yeah, were you paired together right when camp started?
Yeah, so
wow,
right
so
from
it's
the
a natural
start.
kind of connection there.
Yeah, well, like I said, he's so smart.
Yeah.
He's easy to read off of, and obviously different system. So first couple exhibition games, a little tweaking here and there just with calls and stuff like that, but a lot of time you just sit and watch him do his thing.
Off season back in Edmonton?
Yeah, we're on the lake about 45 minutes towards Jasper, so
Nice.
the families are still there. The only time I really get to see my brother since he's over in Germany playing, so my wife's family's from there as well, so we go back for about a month and a half.
So he's what, 36? He's still playing?
Yes. Yeah, he's in the second league, so he's, like I said, he's in unbelievable shape, puts me to shame every summer. So
Is it because he was with that Red Bull team for so long? Because I know the resources that they're given to train. They train like they're triathletes, don't they?
Yeah, he's just a specimen, that guy. Ever since we've been young, he's always been into it. Biking, whether it's the cardio aspect or just weight gain, he was always into it from a young age, and I think that definitely helped me growing up, is sort of following in his footsteps. For about 2 years there, I took a detour off the other side, and the pizza and taquitos didn't catch up with me, so I got a little chubby. I was like, I got to follow this guy again. But no, he's always been just into that work ethic type thing.
Back to the coach for a sec. How long were you guys with him before you realized, this guy's going to stick? He's not going to be interim.
I think that year right after he took over for Bruce, just the way he came into the room and how confident he was with it, and just the vibe changed instantly. Just more excitement to play the game. Nothing against Bruce. He's a great coach, and he has great energy himself. But when you're defending all the time, and that's your first and foremost thing that you want to do, is it gets tough, especially on guys that want to be creative on the offensive side of things. So I think it's just, you see it all the time with coaching changes, that as soon as there's a change, it seems to be a new energy in guys.
I don't know if it was just the fans say it, but I saw it on Twitter. They call him Creed from The Office. Is that something the guys in the room?
That happened for about, I think, 1 week. They put it on Twitter, and he put a stop to that.
You didn't like it?
No, he wasn't a fan.
It's hard because it seems like he does carry that serious tone.
Yeah.
And you can't. I mean, as much as he might chuckle behind the scenes, but you kind of have to maintain that around the guys to keep your integrity.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. No, he doesn't smile a ton, but so that was probably a week straight, and then our PR guy got a little pee-pee slap, and then that was the end of it. So that was it.
Oh man, I've been through a few of those with the social media in my day. That's for sure. I got about 6 or 7 pee-pee whacks when I was in Arizona. Most organizations would have sent me to Europe.
Yeah, you're fine. Just don't do so bad.
Yeah, exactly. But you got anything else?
Actually, about Kaprizov, man, does this guy just do something in practice every day? You just kind of like shake your head. How the hell did he do that?
Yeah, he's just so skilled with his skating and everything. I think that's the hardest part with him, is that he'll come down and he'll open up his hips, and you don't know what way he's going. And
he's always opening up like that.
Yeah, and it's so hard to read as a defenseman. You can gap up on guys who are going in straight lines, and you can sort of angle them off. But with him, you don't know if he's turning back or going forward or anything like that. But he's not just a shooter either. He can make some good plays. He's a great disher. There's a lot of times you're going backdoor and you're like, there's no chance of getting this, and he does a spinorama and fires it. But he's just so skilled, and he just loves working too. He's out there after practice every day for 20, 30 minutes shooting, and he hates days off. He comes in, he's like, why we have a day off?
Russia doesn't give him that.
I know.
Why?
Well, he told me his training when he was a kid, it was like early morning shoot pucks, go skate, school, then another practice. So he's like, that's all I know. So yeah, every time I get a day off, he comes up to me and goes, why? I was like, I want one.
I got 4 kids.
See the other guys in this group chat you lit up? We want a fucking day off. We'll call it even, motherfucker.
You can come in tomorrow if you want. But no, he's just a good kid too. Well, it's not even a kid. He's older, but he's just always smiling and having fun. So he's definitely a guy that brings energy as well.
Well, I mean, we can't thank you enough.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything else. It's a pleasure to watch you play, dude. I hope you get healthy quick, and it's a fun team. I mean, we've said it kind of used to be boring. Now it's a different vibe, and I'm sure it's a blast for you to be a part of and be the leader. So thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
A pleasure.
We'll get some of those Bruce stories now that we're off.
Yeah, get the good ones.
Barbecue sauce on the face.
Huge thanks to Jared for making time with us right after practice in Minnesota. Great guy, great player, great kid. Really enjoyed talking to him. I want to also mention that interview was also brought to you by our friends at Mattress Firm. America has a problem. Everyone is exhausted and out of it because they're not sleeping in a bed that's right for them, and the sleep they're getting sucks. And that problem has a name, Biz: junk sleep. So unjunk your sleep at Mattress Firm's President's Day sale from now until March 8th. Save up to $500 when you get a king bed for the price of a queen, or a queen for the price of a twin. Stop by one of their locations with beds starting at $159.99 with immediate delivery, or save $300 when you shop Tempur-Pedic at America's #1 Tempur-Pedic retailer. To unjunk your sleep, go to a Mattress Firm store in your neighborhood, or go to mattressfirm.com and sleep with a sleep expert. All right. How's that, Biz? Good.
Decent.
All right, buddy. Moving right along. This is kind of a weird one. The Blackhawks were doing one of those town hall things the other day, and Rocky Wirtz was there, the owner and his son Danny, who we met when we were in Chicago, and Mark Lazarus, who covers the team all the time. He brought up the scandal from way back. We don't need to get into the details of it, and Rocky Wirtz wasn't too pleased with it. Gee, let's roll it.
Mark Lazarus, The Athletic. I guess my question would be for Danny. I know we're looking forward here, but I think we have to look back also, and I think much of what happened to Kyle Beach stemmed from a power imbalance between a coach and a player, and the powerlessness of a player in that situation. So what are the Blackhawks doing? What have the Blackhawks done? What will the Blackhawks do to empower a player in a similar situation to make sure that doesn't happen again?
I'm going to answer the question at the end. I think the report speaks for itself. The people that were involved are no longer here. We're not looking back at 2010. We're looking forward. And we're not going to talk about 2010. I know, and I'm not either. And we're not going to talk about what happened. We're moving forward. That is my answer. Now, what's your next question?
I can pick up to what we are doing today. And I think
no, I don't know. That's none of your business. That's none of your business. What we're going to do today is our business. I don't think it's any of your business.
How is it not my business?
Because I don't think it's any of your business. You don't work for the company. If someone in the company asks that question, we'll answer it. And I think you should get on to the next subject. We're not going to talk about Kyle Beach. We're not going to talk about anything that happened. Now, we're moving on. What more do I have to say? You want to keep asking the same question? Do you hear the same answer? Okay, ask the next question. Okay, good.
My name is Phil Thompson. I'm with the Chicago Tribune. You guys talked about a change in culture and transparency and demonstrating the new culture and values that are going to protect players and protect the organization in the future. And it seems like the second that we asked a question about that, it's met with resistance. So I'm going to ask it again.
I answered it.
No, I don't.
I answered it, and I told you to get off the subject.
You didn't tell me.
We're not going to bring up the report.
No,
you read it.
We're not asking about the report. We're
I know
asking
you're talking about what the report
new,
was talking about, and I told you we're moving on. Now,
we're
I don't like these. I think you're out of
the
line to ask this line of questions. Why don't you ask about something else? Why don't you ask about the GM
Okay,
search?
I will ask
Why don't you
about,
do something else?
Okay, I
Why
will
do you
ask
bring
about
up
attendance.
old business?
Some of the season ticket holders that I've talked to said that they're having trouble maintaining value on their resale because, you know, a lot of people.
Is that a fact? I didn't realize you're in our ticket department.
Okay.
Well,
what I'm saying is,
come on. Let's talk about all the negative stuff. When I talk about your paper and what the sports page looks like, should I do that?
No, these are dedicated.
You can't even get our elite scores.
Rocky, can I finish my question?
Pissed off a lot of people. A lot of people weren't happy with it. He did apologize after. Bettman went to bat for him. Said, you know, he reacted emotionally. But what was your take?
Shocked in a way where it was just such an odd reaction, and the question Lazarus asked, and I'll preface it with Lazarus loves stirring the pot. You know that there are certain guys who they can get some good entertaining answers, but they're willing to maybe upset a couple people.
And to the point, an event like that maybe thought they were going to get to avoid that major topic. Right?
Yeah, but you never that's not the right of an owner to ever think you're going to get an easy one when you invite reporters that aren't just a part of the team, that are with a newspaper or whatever. So sorry, but the question he said was, what have you done to pretty much guarantee or make sure this will never happen again in the organization? And it's definitely probably a hard question to answer, because I'm sure they have done a lot, but they're looking for a specific couple of things that have happened that have just will show the public or somebody who's maybe has a child getting drafted by that team that we've addressed all the issues. Wirtz said, I thought the answer he gave without flipping out wasn't bad, because he mentioned we've addressed that with everyone who works for the organization. So what he's saying is everyone now knows what you could say to somebody. If something ever happens to you, let somebody know. But he took so much offense that Lazarus wanted the public to know, and was so outraged and upset that he thought he'd be allowed to just keep it in-house. And after what happened and after the entire story, it's not going to be that way. Everyone's going to always want to know. After you've been through something like that, you're just going to continue to get questions asked. That's just the reality of the situation. So to see, and I'll let you guys go into this, but the one thing that I also noticed is his son Danny started to answer it, and Rocky just really said, I'll answer this. And I'm sure that was upsetting for Danny Wirtz, who does a lot. And, you know, when you're the boss and you're older, it sometimes is something where you just, no matter what, you're in charge in your mind. But it definitely came off not exactly looking great for Rocky Wirtz, I'd say.
He just went defensive on it.
Yeah.
And, it's such an intense subject to cover right now. And, we're such a shift. But I think based on the overall situation, like he wasn't in the know. It happened with a team that he owned, right? I think that if he would have been given that information at the time, he was completely unaware of any of that happening. And then it did, and it was brought to him. So I don't know if he's taken this as such a strike to him personally of all this coming out, because maybe if he would have known that this was what was being covered up at the time, it wouldn't have transpired the way that it did. So maybe that's where like the defensiveness came from it. But
well, I would say this:
it's difficult to get through the whole clip. It's one of those moments where it's like
cringe. You're flipping,
and especially if you're the type of person where when all this stuff originally happened that you were not in the know, and this was all of a sudden brought to you where this in fact was covered up, and because you're the owner, you have to assume responsibility, and you have to be the one, you have to be the leader, you have to be the one in charge to implement that serious change within an organization, and it seems like they are doing it. So why not just
say it, right?
Stick with that path and delivering is exactly what you're doing to change it. It just kind of shifted, and that's when it's just like, oh.
So I'm not trying to defend him at all.
No, not at all.
No, it's probably hard where you had this unbelievable run, 3 Stanley Cups, and as the owner, you get that question, and with what's been going on for a long time, you're like, oh my God, is this our legacy? Is this our legacy? And there are a lot of people who will say, yes, it is. Yeah. I'm not going to say that I'd say that it's completely their legacy, but it's a part of their history. So moving forward, and I don't own a hockey team, my advice, which probably nobody would take who's listening, would be just prepare yourself. Every interview you're doing the rest of your life as the owner of this team, you might get one. And you got to just address what you've done and continue to just like Belichick style remind everyone this is what we're doing, and I'll keep saying it if you want to keep asking.
The biggest learning experience of his life, and it's just like we change, enforce it, stress it, and stay on the...
Definitely a weird video to watch, though.
What the hell is going on? Eddie Olczyk was just he was like, oh my God. He was like, get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Get me down on the Kentucky Derby.
It's like when you're
horse picks.
Yeah. You better make me the fucking
when you're out to dinner.
You better make me the GM, team president, assistant GM, fucking.
Edzo just wants to watch horses and win on horses.
Nice unintentional segue, Biz. Eddie Olczyk, Patrick Sharp, Marian Hossa, they've been selected as advisors to assist in the search for the new GM. Eric Tulsky, Kyle Davidson, Scott Mellenby, and Peter Chiarelli.
Patrick Sharp, that was on Mike Grinelli's roller hockey team this week.
My line.
Hey, looked him off.
And
my liney.
Peter Chiarelli, the name's in the mix for the Chicago GM job, so be interested to see what happens.
So that's a face you're making. You wouldn't like that hire?
I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm not a Blackhawks fan, but I know Blackhawks fans probably wouldn't be looking forward to it. Chief seemed petrified about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he did help get a cup in Boston.
What would you? What chaos would you rather see? Torts as a head coach again, or Chiarelli as a general manager?
I feel like those don't even compare to one another. Like Torts in his history with media and blow-ups, that's one thing where you're talking about chaos. Chiarelli won a Stanley Cup as a GM. I don't think and Torts won a Stanley Cup as a coach, but in terms of chaos, I don't
but
really
if you
think
ask Edmonton, they'd say they set back their organization 5-6 years.
I just thought of the Bruins. I didn't even think about his time in Edmonton there. Shows how stupid I am at this sometimes.
You played for Edmonton too.
I know. Hey, and let's just mention on the pod, a real favorite drink of ours, I think my voice just cracked in Vegas, really only when gambling, is a White Russian. Murr, you got me into these things. Pasha just got us a bunch. You know, we're going to finish off this episode.
Every time Pasha walks, I'm afraid he's going to fall and like hurt his elbow again like he did on the ice.
Who taught you about the White Russian and what's in it?
The Big Lebowski probably taught you about the White Russian.
I think my mom always was a big drinker of the
Mix
White
it up,
Russians.
all the rum or whatever it is.
Talking about gambling with
milk.
Talking about gambling. So you talked to Tyreek Hill earlier. He knew 2 players, Ovechkin, Crosby. They both have won Stanley Cups. That's why he knows them. Who do you like right now? We got $100 each. We got to go put a future bet in. Who you taking to Stanley Cup?
I had a good conversation about this the other night with Drew Shore. We got to run into him. And we kind of said, as great as all these teams in the West are in Colorado, Vegas, and I'm not going against Tampa. I picked them the second year to repeat, and then I didn't pick them this year. Now that they've been this good so far, it's like, all right, because they're in the playoffs and Vasilevsky. So I'm now once again on the Tampa bandwagon. The Islanders were my pick. That's not going to happen. I'm now saying again at the All-Star break, Tampa Bay Lightning are winning the cup.
Gee, can we somehow clip back to the Detroit pod that I just sat in?
You said it?
And I said Tampa back then. So now you're on.
You think they're going to three-peat?
I said I go there. I'm never going to bet against them with Hedman and three-peat. Now you're on with me. I love it.
I'm on.
Biz, what do you got?
The Yotes?
No, not the Yotes. I would, our buddy Mark Madden, the one who's been after us, coming at us in the headlines, I would let him take a dump on my chest if the Pittsburgh Penguins could acquire Marc-Andre Fleury and kind of create their own imagine your own little, close your eyes.
They're shut, right? They've been shut the whole show.
Marc-Andre Fleury, Crosby, Malky, Gino boy, Tanger, The Last Dance,
Gensel,
The Last Dance. Gensel's a big piece.
So here's the thing,
but it's not.
If you're going to go out and be Pittsburgh and you're going to move some assets to acquire someone, Jari's an all-star. So is that their real need? Like to get the flower? You think you think they can't win the cup with Jari, kind of? And that's not calling him out, but you think it's that important, or you think that he'd end up being the starter there almost?
I saw the way that him and Matt Murray work together, and the fact that he's able to take that backup role,
and he could hop in.
Some Pittsburgh fans would say, "You're an idiot. He's going good. Why would you fuck with his psyche? Why would you bring another big dog goalie in?" And then some people would even argue they would start Fleury in playoffs. Anson Carter, I think he said it. He goes, "I'd start Fleury over Jari in playoffs." Are you kidding me?
100%.
You don't think fucking Tanger and fucking Gino and Sid, knowing it might be their last year as that Treyway together, bringing back Fleury with the goosebumps on the arm, going out before warm-ups, first game of playoffs? Who you starting, buddy?
Hey. You just kind of really made me agree with you, Biz. That doesn't happen often.
They put a little pep in their step.
But we're taking an all-star's job away right now on the show. We just watched the guy play. Didn't the Metro win? Did he just win the all-star game, Jari?
No, you got RA. Who's your cup?
So you're saying Jari? You're saying Jari's going back the other way to Chicago for who else too? Package deal?
Oh, I don't know. But we saw Gensel chucking the cards around. He loved the action on the blackjack. I liked meeting him. Pittsburgh days. This just remind me. I actually wrote down the guy's name. One of the people I met at the ball hockey event, Mike Spiegel. I hope I got that right. So I used to my first 2 years in Pittsburgh. I think it was mainly actually my rookie year. Team was really struggling, so they had student rush program. You guys both played for the Penguins, you remember, but. Basically,
we're the reason they're good. We were so bad that they got the hot
we delivered pizza.
I delivered pizzas to them in line.
That was one thing we did with Jen Bilano, who now runs the entire Penguins.
She's the owner.
Media. She is the owner, Jen. Shout out. And so I used to also, at the time, I was single. My family, my dad wasn't there very often. My parents would come, I don't know, once a month. So I had 2 tickets to every game. And I would just swing by the student rush line because I think an hour before the game, there'd always be 50 to 60 college kids out there and they'd be $5. So I just chuck my tickets out of the car window. And a guy that was here, this Mike Spiegel, he said, I caught him one time, or you gave him to me. And I was like, I've been a diehard Penguins fan forever, so it was pretty cool that you did that. And then I got to see you play, and I'm basically just pumping my own tires right now. But I thought it was pretty funny. You just brought up Fleury, and I remembered the good old days when we were bad.
Gave him a couple fun coupons out the window?
Yeah, I think I was trying to throw him to a girl behind him, but he jumped up and snatched her from him.
That's why I was going to say, why else is Whit Dog, as desperate as he is, square wheels, hitting up the student rush line? Come on, man. A couple residuals with the pizza pies.
And he never drove. We drove him.
I drove sometimes because I got that.
He would valet Sid's Range Rover, and then he would drive out and back around with it, and actually give them the chains out of his cup holder. That's how he would get it.
Was that in the pigeon line where like Mario and Sydney had their own entrance?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
Like all of us mutts had to park in this one lot, and then Mario and Sid, and probably you too, once you got so big that you could go around the other lot with no fans.
That was at Mellon?
Yeah, at Mellon, the old igloo.
What was it like playing there as your home rink? Because you played there for a couple of years.
It was amazing. And the Stanley Cup final that we lost, unfortunately, was the scene. I've said it was my friends came. It was amazing. It was so loud. A guy here this weekend, we were talking about Mellon, a different Penguins fan. He said, "Oh, it was just such a dump." I said, "No way."
No.
It was old and grimy, but the stands behind the net were right on top of you. The place went crazy. I loved playing there. I loved it. I always thought that it was one of the best home atmospheres when we were really good. We took advantage of that crowd. So I still haven't actually been to the PPG Paints Arena. I haven't been to the new Edmonton Arena or the new Pittsburgh Arena.
What was the movie they filmed out of it? Where
Sudden Death.
Great movie.
Jean-Claude.
Well, they did the other one too. She's out of my league.
I'm in that. I'm out there. We were playing the Islanders in that game.
It's against the Islanders.
Yes, exactly.
The girl's decent looking.
Oh my God, yeah, she's decent.
Just cranking it off.
I scored that game, Phantom.
Not a big
Merles, to answer your question.
Yeah, all right, Spick.
I'm not much for chalk. I like a little value, but Minnesota or the Rangers at 15-1 right now. I think that's pretty good value for a couple teams that have been playing well. Probably one of those.
How about Minnesota won 8 out of 9 games since we left them? We did all the interviews. Do you guys know that?
No shit.
Really?
Yeah, they won 8 out of 9 after we left them.
Billy G's going to have us back.
That's why he gave us the Wagyu
He's going to
beef.
build a new Star Wars thing that he could show RA.
I got Nashville 76-1 from the beginning of the season. They're down to 20-1 right now.
What?
Give me one.
Yeah.
Give me
And
one.
your
now.
boy
Give me
Saros.
one. Give me one right now. I got
Saros.
$100. I'll give you $100. You got to go out there. Give me it.
Minnesota. I think they're going to have a
What
good
are their
shot.
odds? 15, you said?
15-1. I mean, I hate chasing chalk.
I don't mind it.
But it wouldn't surprise me if Tampa did get a three-peat. Let's see.
Cut to the Detroit.
Well,
clip.
speaking of the Wild, are we going to throw it to Foligno?
In a minute.
Okay,
we got a
sorry.
couple more notes. That's okay, buddy. Gary Bettman gave his state of the game address that he does this at the All-Star game every year. He said the NHL will consider moving the draft out of Montreal next year if restrictions remain in place in Quebec. Just another fucking disaster
Good for
for
him.
Canada.
No cheap
Good
cut
for
jobs
him.
for the boys getting drafted. Sorry, guys. Where are they moving it? All right.
They haven't said. They don't know yet. They're going to wait and see.
They better do Vegas.
You're going to present them with a jersey and their V cards.
Hey, if they move the
this year.
draft to Vegas, can we come back here, Mikey, and do
Merle
another trip?
Merle said they should have the draft, the Cup Finals, and the All-Star Game every year in Vegas. He goes, just do everything here.
No matter what, no matter who's in it, right? It's in Vegas.
Just like the answer for everything.
Yes.
And I can't even play golf right now. Great golf in Vegas. So bummed being here and not being able to swing them.
He said they might let Canadian teams move some games out of their market into the U.S. just because of, again, the fucking situation up there with not being able to have crowds. Florida is getting the All-Star game next year.
See you there.
The Winter Classic is coming back to Fenway. G, did you have something on this?
G broke it.
Broke the news.
You legit broke that.
Yeah, I
and
did.
are you getting? That's a legit break of the news. I saw that.
Zero credit. Zero credit for the rumor boys.
That's not like we've talked about the Olympics one. Everyone was saying like that's a legit. You broke that.
It's a legit scoop.
That's the first time. Or RA, you had one. I think that you didn't get the credit. That wasn't as vague as the Olympics. That's bullshit. Everyone out there, G found that out first. The Winter Classic location. Shout out you.
And the teams. They haven't announced teams, but it's going to be Bruins and Penguins. I'm telling you.
Oh, they didn't even announce.
They didn't announce the Penguins yet, but I'm telling you, it will be Bruins and Penguins.
Good job.
Will there be an alumni
I'll double
game?
down.
Will there be an alumni game before it?
I skated last time at Fenway. It was frozen Fenway. I got
They
to
usually
skate.
do have those.
Yeah.
I'm going to start working out for that.
Well, they'll do a
'Cause
media
I'm
game.
done with the big deal selects.
Thornton will break your neck like Orpik.
I think that's what I'm going to start training for. I'm going to be in the alumni game at the Winter Classic.
We can move on.
How we just get to that?
I don't even know.
It's fucking Spittin Chiclets. That's what we do. The Carolina Hurricanes, they're going to host the 2023 Stadium Series at Carter Finley Stadium, home of the NC State Wolfpack in Raleigh, North Carolina. And the Global Series will also continue next season with games in Germany, Switzerland, Finland, and the Czech Republic. Merles, maybe you got to get in shape.
Wow,
Guys,
Wow.
can we please go to Germany? I've never been to Europe.
Of those 4 locations, it's Czech or Switzerland before Germany, right?
Please, just take me anywhere.
So there's
What are
this
you
club
looking
in-
for?
There's this club in Germany.
I played in all of them.
Legit, right?
There's a club in Germany that opens like Thursday morning and it stays open until like Monday or
Said I'm not a club guy anymore. Grinelli can order the Dom though when we walk in.
All right.
Don't tell me with a good time.
All right, a couple more notes before we get to Marcus Foligno. Pat Verbeek, the OG little ball of hate, was named GM of the Anaheim Ducks. Of course, he worked under Stevie Bongrips for the last several years in Tampa and Detroit. Seems like he's ready for the job. John Horkoff, your old teammate Whit, has been named the Red Wings assistant general manager and the general manager of the Grand Rapids Griffins. And according to the
Congrats,
Flyers,
Hork.
Yeah, Hork's the man. He's awesome.
Very, very professional. Has brought the hard work that he had as a player, like ridiculous work ethic. He's the exact same way. And he said that's what Yzerman kind of, not demands, but that's what he does, and they just follow. So it's pretty cool becoming an assistant GM. You could see Hork being a full GM, or, the main GM at one point.
What's Hork doing his downtime to decompress?
Works out.
No, he coaches. So I coached against him last year. He's an 07. He's a kid.
Yeah,
that's
his son Will's a real good player.
He'll be a first-round pick probably.
There we go. See, Murno's out of scout.
According to the Flyers blog, Crossing Broad, the team will name Danny Briere assistant GM sometime in the next week or two. He'll be signing a 2-year deal. So that.
I was surprised.
I thought Montreal was going to snag him.
Same here, and the fact that Montreal was a place that, when they hired Kent Hughes, he's not making all the decisions. It's Jeff Gordon, where that would have been a spot for Briere. He wasn't going to hop right in as the only guy, but it's good that he ends up in a place that he played before and had a lot of success. He could be great at that.
Merles, you just said Minnesota's been on fire since we left. What was the record you just said?
They won 8 out of 9.
8 out of 9. Well, this Matt Boldy, unreal rookie, got his first goal in his hometown. He's got 10 points in his first 10 games. They're 9-0-1 in those games. He's the first skater in team history to post at least 10 points through his first 10 NHL games among those who debuted with the club. Billy G said he's going to be up for the rest of the year. So, kid's been a stud so far. And
what a feeling!
Get the letter.
When you leave the rink and maybe check your Twitter nowadays, and you see that, like, Guerin says, yeah, he's going to be all year, you're like, oh. you do the math, you're like, all right, so that means my rookie deal makes $600,000 more. The AHL salary.
That means I can afford to give Grinelli credit card duties at the club next Saturday.
And for a kid like that, that's probably the last time he'll ever see the AHL.
Yeah.
All right. And this talking about Minnesota, might as well send it to Moose right now, huh?
Second interview, guys. He's a blast. It's not even work when we get to talk to this guy. He's so fun, and yeah,
he makes it easy. And his interview is brought to you by Cross Country Mortgage. Buying a home can feel like a brawl. If you want to come through the other side with all your teeth in your mouth, you need a team that has your back. That's why Chiclets Nation skates with Cross Country Mortgage. They're dedicated to getting it done with a home buying game plan that makes sure you get that mortgage win. Cross Country Mortgage has a team of loan officers dedicated to finding you the best possible loan terms available. They have an average close time of 21 days, which is ridiculously fast. They got a huge variety of products. They cover everything from renovations to refis and everything in between. So don't risk getting drilled into the boards during the home buying process. Go with Cross Country Mortgage. They have your back and are dedicated to getting it done. So go to crosscountrymortgage.com/barstool so Cross Country Mortgage can take care of you through the home buying process. Cross Country Mortgage, LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. And now enjoy Marcus Foligno. Well, this guy might be setting a record for the quickest time between appearances on the show. It's only been 7 months, though. It feels like fucking 7 years after this last year. He's in his 5th season with Minnesota with the resurgent Wild, and it's great to welcome him back to the show. Marcus Foligno, how's it going, man?
Thanks for having me, guys. Chiclets bump. You guys turned me into a goal scorer. I appreciate it.
What do you got, 13 right now in the year?
Yeah, 13. Yeah, actually, I'm shocked looking at other guys. I'm like, shit, I got more than this guy? Yeah, so
time to renegotiate.
I'm hanging on to it right now. I think if I end with 15, I'll be good. But yeah,
get to 15, just shut it down.
Just shut it down. Yeah,
hey, well, my
defensive mode.
This is all I get paid for.
Yeah, I want to restructure my deal right now.
Hey, speaking of goals, I was talking to your coach, and he was saying that when he was assistant, that you guys had a bit of a run-in Vegas, and he brought you some luck on a night that you spent out, maybe a little later than you should have. Do you know the story I'm talking about?
Yeah. Who said this?
Dean.
Oh yeah, Dino. Yeah, that was. I met Devin Dubnyk at the tables, and we stayed out a little bit late, and I stumbled back to my hotel room, and but before, like, the Bellagio, like, you go to Presto Hotel, I see, like, Dean kind of come by, and I must have bumped shoulders with him. I must have ran into him or something. And Dean,
you got cash falling out of your pocket.
Yeah. And Dean looked at me, and I looked at Dean. My eyes got so big. I'm like, oh shit! So I just kept pressing the elevator button, got up, and Dean next morning looked at me and was like, "Moose, how you doing?" I'm like, "I'm good. You?" He's like, "Okay." And then I ended up scoring that game in Vegas. And after the game, he comes up to me. He goes, "You better go out every night then before the game or something. You better be shit-faced every time you play." But I was okay that day. Dubnyk got me into one at the table, so he's a gambler.
Was he playing there at the time, or you mean you guys were teammates and then you guys ended up going to the tables together?
Yeah.
Were you guys playing blackjack?
Blackjack, yeah. I just whatever Doobie did because he's one of those guys.
He loves gambling.
Yeah, like he's also one of those guys that if he thinks he knows the shoe, so he just pretty much took my chips, put it here, and like I just sat there like this and just kept asking for a drink.
So what they try to do is they try to read the wave. Like if they're seeing a lot of face cards, they start backing off their bets. Where if they haven't seen either, like, oh, they're coming. Is that his mentality?
Yeah, he's a shark. Like even in like poker and stuff like that, like he cleaned up the boys all the time. Like
he cleaned up in poker. He's very good.
He's got a brother in him that gamble a lot, and from what he says, he's up a lot. So. He's a guy you follow in Vegas, but I don't know. I think he needs you so that like he wins and you lose a shit ton of money, so then he wins. So I think that's why. Come play with me, and
all he was doing was if he lost a hand, he was taking Foligno's chips off and putting them in his side.
Yeah, but me and Dino, ever since that night, we became pretty close that night.
He also, I ran into him in the hallway here as I was going to the bathroom, and I said, "Do we have any ammunition on Foligno? We already had him on. Like, what else is there to talk about?" He goes, "Ask him about how many fucking of my drills he's busting." So you're
drill killer.
You're the drill killer.
Well, I was last year heavy, and the year before, yeah, he was. I don't know. Dean's got the raspiest voice in the league, so I feel like when he yells at you, you can't hear him. He's at the one end at the rink, so just one of those things where I always end up screwed up. But now we got Nick Bustad on our team, and this guy's the biggest drill buster, so he's overtaking me.
He was doing it in Florida. I was with him there.
Oh, my God. This guy's unbelievable. We all just say, Bugie, first in line. Like, go. If I don't know something, I just sit behind Bustad, so he just goes for me and wrecks it. But that guy's the best for it.
Bit of a space cadet?
Yeah, a little bit. More than I am out there, so I'm good now.
He's from here, too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Blaine boy.
Yeah.
So, he'll let you know about it, too. He's good stuff.
Have they always let the fans watch the practice since you've been here? Or is that relatively new?
Yeah, we actually have a pretty good, weekends are usually like this and then some. There's a lot of, like, tournaments that they host here, so you get a lot of, like, younger kids' teams that come out here. So, pretty good atmosphere for practices. During weekdays and stuff, not too many. But there's always someone watching. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's my first time here. Is it common for Billy G to be up top? Because I feel like there's a bit of a different presence to this type of practice where I'm like, man, it's almost like you're playing another game.
Yeah. It's you look up there, you bust a drill, and you look up there, and Billy just came in there right, lasers right to you, and you're just like, oh no. And then it's good to have the brass watching. I think it's good for the boys, but if you know Billy, it's comical up there. He'll like shout down at you sometimes and tell you to pick it up, and then he'll come down too and mess with your sticks, and he's just like one of the players. So it's pretty cool having him here. And
that's what he mentioned to us is in terms of like, I just love knowing what the vibe in the room is. He probably definitely misses playing and being a part of the room, but he did tell us, I'm down there, I'm figuring out kind of what's going on, and that makes a lot of sense if he's also ruining your sticks and shit.
He walks into the rink, he's in the hot tub. Yeah, grab a beer. Grab a beer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's right in there, and he'll mess with guys, and he'll chirp guys' style coming in or what they're using. Oh, yeah. You can see that he definitely missed it, and I'm sure playing with him was way more intense or just what the stuff that he would do to mess with guys. So I think him being a GM, he has to dial it back a bit, but you can tell it was probably comical every day playing with that guy.
And on a day when your head coach, Dean, and the staff gets the extensions, can you explain what it's been like playing for him? Biz said he just ran into him, and he said, everyone thinks I'm angry all the time because he's got that intense bitch face.
But he's got like that perma red face on the bench. He just golfs all the time, so I think it's usually windburn here in Minnesota that he gets. But he's great. He's intense, but he's like, I think what's great about Dean is that he's played before, and he gets like what the room's supposed to be like. And from what I've heard about him, the type of player he is kind of a blue-collar guy too, team guy first mentality. So he gets it, and he's been awesome. It's exciting for him. He deserves the extension, and so do all those other guys like Bob Woods and Henderson and McLean. Like those guys are great, and they all get along. And it seems like it's kind of trickled down into our room, and it's been a good atmosphere, and they deserve a lot of credit. And I just love that they don't show, how much they make and stuff. But us players, when we get a contract, they just throw it out there,
Exactly.
I was giving them, I was busting their chops. I'm like, you guys are probably making way more than the players. That's why they're not showing anything. Bullshit.
How much money's on the board, Dean? Let's go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get a Winter Classic. There'll be lots. Yeah.
I want to go back to, you mentioned that Billy G making fun of guys' fashion. Who's strolling in with just the worst fucking gear?
Oh, man.
Goose.
Yeah,
Goose's gear. No, he's simple off the glass.
Simple Goose. Yeah, Goose. I think probably has the same suit from 10 years ago. I think that's what
he's got the Gap Carpenter jeans still.
He loves when it's cold because he can just wear that huge jacket that covers everything up.
He's got no suit jacket underneath, just the big overcoat. He usually it's like guys that have style, like Dumba. Who's got a lot of style is Kulikov. I got a picture, but I don't know if you guys. I'll show you.
Is he wearing the Euro fitted suit?
Oh, he's got like he brought in yellow tinted sunglasses with an overcoat that like had like Christmas stitching on it, with like red shoes. It was insane. But he's Russian, so like it looks so good on him, but no one else can pull it off. And
the outfit was actually like $50K.
Yeah, I
like Lonzo Ball strolling into his presser.
Yeah.
With those stupid cars.
Oh, yeah. Like my daughter, we had like a little skate, and my daughter comes running in with some shoes on. I don't know. My wife bought her some shoes, and Billy G like, oh, your daughter's got those shoes on. I'm like, what the hell are these? And I'm losing it because now I realize they're expensive shoes for a fucking 3-year-old. So I'm losing on my wife. I'm like, what are they? And Billy G's going off. I can't believe you got shoes for that. I guess they're like over $100 or something. So. But Billy G like knows everything from like styles. It's insane. Like he knows.
His kids tell him, don't let him fool you. I think his kids keep.
Oh yeah.
But he's got all that. If you bring in crappy shoes, he'll come running at you. It's insane.
What about we always joke about the Russians in like the Abercrombie track suits or like decked out in Gucci. Kaprizov go a little crazy with the spending on the clothes yet?
No, he's picked up a few suits. Dumba's brought in a suit guy, and I think Creel bought about 5 or 6 of them off of him. So he's got some new stuff, but. No, Korea, like he doesn't like he drives an Audi. I don't know if it was given to him. It's like free, like so. I don't know if he's
Putin.
He's
hard.
Yeah, but I think I won't say Creel's cheap by all means. He pays for dinners and things like that, which is nice. But he doesn't really have like any flashy style right now.
All right, good to know. Good to get the little rundown on the team fashion. All right.
Speaking of him, did you get any grief or blowback from the last appearance? They bust your balls about that.
Yeah, Kirill story about the text message. He said that one of his buddies in Russia, I guess, follows you guys, and kind of broke it down to him in English and in Russian, and he laughed at me the next day when I told him about it. So I guess his phone was blowing up from guys back there, but when all the guys heard it, it was pretty funny. A lot of guys actually forgot about the story until it reminded them. So
Spurgeon just brought it up to us. He's like, "You were supposed to be texting me," and all of a sudden I said to my wife, "Oh shit!"
Oh yeah, I think Spurgeon and I were texting back and forth, like, "Fuck, he doesn't know that's not the group chat, man. Like this is gonna be awesome. Let's let it keep going." So that was like the perfect icebreaker for that guy.
Is this going to be your first outdoor game in the NHL?
Yeah. This was I was in Buffalo but I got traded that year before they played Rangers at the Met Stadium. Yeah, so they were playing there. So that was going into Winter Classic, and then I got sent here, and so I'm happy.
You missed the one that they had already here.
Yeah, that was like a year before. Yeah,
you must be fired up then, huh? It's gonna be a pretty sick atmosphere.
Yeah, we got a lot of family in town.
Nice.
So it's gonna be good. I mean, being in Northern Ontario, you play outside all the time in freezing weather, but this is going to be, I mean, the Twin Stadium is awesome. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but it's really cool. It's got a good seating, and being in like that middle of the field would be pretty kick-ass, so we're looking forward to it.
This was supposed to be my first one at a baseball stadium, because the last one we ended up going to was at Notre Dame Stadium, and I like that stadium series like set up better.
Like in the football stadium?
Yeah, given like where like the dugouts are, and like as you it gets farther and farther away, so maybe a little harder to see.
Yeah, I think like they made it from like first base to third base, like the length. But like I feel like if you're in the outfield, it's a
you're there to just
people are there to get people are there to get
beers and beers.
Yeah,
you're getting crushed.
Where all your buddies are going to be.
I think you're just hoping for Thomas Rhett to come out and perform. I don't know. That's the only thing you're going to be hearing. I don't know. It's going to be it's got to be tough from like the angles for some people. But I mean, if you're up top in like the suite level. It's probably the best view.
Where's the worst weather, here or Buffalo?
Oh, man. I got to say here just gets so cold. Like Buffalo wasn't too bad. Buffalo, you got like the snow, the lake effect snow, but it would stay a little bit mild. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, here it's just like your pipes freeze in your house here. That's how bad it gets. So, but it is what it is. Used to it.
So because we already got you on, G thought it would be a good idea to throw some weird things at you. And Barstool's created a game called Answer the Internet. So we're going to ask you a few questions.
All right.
First one being, you could pick 5 fictional athletes to be your teammates on a dodgeball team. So I would imagine fictional as in like characters from movies. I kind of fucked it up when they asked me.
Biz said Spider-Man. I go, what sport does he play, Biz?
So characters from like sports movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what exactly. The question should have been phrased a little bit differently. Thank you.
He got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcus.
I'll take Vince Vaughn off dodgeball, right? Is that one? I'll take the guy Average Joe as the leader of the pack.
With or without the bondage suit on?
With.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. The gag ball coming out with intimidation.
I think longest yard, you know the guy, the ping pong guy, I'll play, the big, huge dude?
Yes, the monster.
I think I want him. Okay. I don't know if he probably...
But he can't dodge a ball.
Yeah, he can't dodge. That's just tough. Man, sport.
That's final answers, by the way. Once you say their name, it's final. So you have that guy.
I feel like I go off like historic movies, like Remember the Titans. I'll go with maybe Sunshine.
Nice.
Sunshine.
Break.
He figured it
Kenny
out.
Wu from the Mighty Ducks would be quick. He couldn't hit him. He's tiny.
Oh yeah, I'll do. Yeah, that's who's the guy that can't stop too?
Oh, Luis Mendoza.
I mean, got good. If he goes to the line, he can't stop the dodgeball. He's got to take it back. Jeez, man. I got two more.
You've been great off the top of your dome. You got
these. This is a good one, actually.
You make a great scout.
Oh, the kid from Rowan Gardner with the
what's that?
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Yeah, take him for sure. Just sit in the back, just snapping them at people.
Say wild thing for Major League, Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, he'd be too fucked up though to play.
pick one of your teammates that you would have to have on the team if that was an option.
I'll go with Eriksson Ek.
Monster.
Good at everything. He's just.
By the way, Spurgeon told us quickly back to the team. He said he's a pretty quiet guy, and once in a while he just kind of gives you the elbow. You're sitting next to him in the room, like give it to the boys, huh?
Oh yeah, when he speaks, it's like, did you just say that? Wow, that was that actually that hurt that guy or whatever you chirped him. Like his chirps are hilarious, but when he pipes in he's serious and means it, and everyone
shuts up.
He's been from when I got here, I think it was his first year. It's been amazing to see this guy just kind of developing the player that he is. But he's starting to talk more in the room. He didn't really, I don't want to say, that's just not who he is. He just rather play and show it on the ice. And but man, he's so big for our team. He does. You compare guys to Ryan O'Reilly, the 200-foot game, and Bergeron. This guy, I think he's going to be that and then some too, because he's a beast too, and now he's putting up the offensive numbers, which is nice to see.
I wanted to ask about Zook. It made me reminded me. Of course, this practice work ethic. I thought you were going to pick him as your fifth, but I heard a story about him and the fact when he's playing against teams and another guy who he's playing against is playing well. If he's the same hand stick, sometimes he'll go over. He'll ask their team trainer or his trainer to go over their trainer, ask for that stick, and next thing you know, he'll be playing with it in practice and getting used to that player's stick. Is that true?
Yeah, all of a sudden, we played Draisaitl's last game in Edmonton. Now he's got Draisaitl's stick on the ice in practice.
Get out of here!
And he used Draisaitl's stick in a game one time for 2 shifts. We're all like, oh my god,
the bubble hockey stick.
Yeah, but he's snapping around. I've never seen a guy that can use people's sticks and be good with them too. And he took
doesn't affect them.
He took Zegras' stick in Anaheim, used it for practice, and he's like, no, I don't like it. And then puts it to the side, but then I think he takes it all home. He gets so is he. Trying to think of he's a lefty. So
I didn't know what guys on my team thought. That was probably when I was a dog shit passer.
He's tried. I'm telling you, this guy's tried all superstar sticks, and he'll bring them in practice and snap them around for the whole practice.
So if you get asked,
it's insane. I've never seen anything like it.
If he asks you for a stick, it's kind of that's a big time compliment. He thinks you're nasty.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It could be that you could be giving it up, and next thing you know, you end up meeting this guy in playoffs, and he's using that fucking stick you gave him and lighting your ass up.
He used Draisaitl's stick, and the whole practice he was just doing backhand passing. he got things that it doesn't matter. Went right to his backhand, and if it didn't work out, we're just buddy, it's not.
He comes dressed like him. He's got his fucking socks over his skates and shit.
Speaking German.
Okay, well that fun question led to a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, I got another hockey question before we go back to those, because there's a bunch of them. But Hartman this year has just been crazy good, right? Yeah. And there's a guy he's a high pick. Teams gave up on him. What have you noticed in terms of what's different for him? Maybe a little puck luck, or is it his whole vibe around the rink?
Yeah, no, I think when he first came in, I think even in juniors too, I've known him a little bit. He's always had a goal scoring ability. He's one of those guys that can put the puck in a lower part of the net or slip it through the goalie's arm. He's smart like that, and I think he just needed someone to believe in him. To do
shit.
It. And I think that's honestly what it came down to. You saw him get moved around from Chicago. I mean, I think he almost had 20 goals that one year too. So he's always had it, and then now, you throw in the grit and like the hitting, the physical play that he does, and like he's an asshole to play against. The guys that want to run him through the boards, but he loves it. And then you put him with Kirill and Kazuki, and he's getting this he's getting the puck in the slot more. He's making plays because he feels like he has to with those guys because he can do it. So I just feel like his games kind of came out because of give credit to our coaching staff kind of letting him play, and it's been huge for our team because everyone's talk about our team has been number one center's not there, and it's just we hear it all the time, but we don't feel like that because we feel like we got a guy like Ecker, Hartman, who can kind of throw themselves in there and play great with those guys. So Hartsy's, I think he's a goal scorer, to be honest with you. Like I don't want to label him as that because it's not kind of he's done in the past, but that guy can shoot a puck. I'll tell you that. Like he can snipe some pucks out there, and it's so nice to see him doing well because he's a absolute beauty of a teammate too. So he's a great guy, and he just brings it every night.
It seemed like even in training camp, I noticed that at one of the exhibition games, him and Landeskog were going at it.
Yeah.
That was kind of, I feel like maybe that could provide a little bit of confidence for him, and it felt like maybe even galvanize the group a little bit for you guys to muck it up that early, in the season.
Yeah, he'll go after anyone. Like he knows how to play that game. I think that he's like the perfect playoff hockey player. Like he is. He can suck guys into taking penalties. Like that's his job, and he knows it. And he's a good player playing on that edge. And you go after like Landeskog, like those top players. You get now they're focused on him. Yeah, and like they're not really worried about Kirill or Ecker or Zuki. Now we got some guys that can kind of start buzzing, and like he loves it. He'll like I'll do this all night. So good agitator.
I had one more weird one for you here before we move on. It's adjusted for inflation because you signed a nice little contract. If you had one free throw and if you could make it, you'd get $5 million. But if you miss it, you never get to text again in your life. Would you shoot the free throw?
Oh, 100%.
That might be a dream for somebody to not have to text in the world.
Yeah. You would never be able to send one more text in your life. You had to call everybody.
People don't have to talk to anyone, though.
Yeah, that's easy.
The way it's going now, I don't know if do people just FaceTime you? All these guys on our team, if they like Jordan Greenway, if he's got a question for me, he'll just FaceTime call.
Maybe
it's the worst. What are you? He's like, hey, what time you get in the rink tomorrow? I'm like, you calling me for this? Yeah. I would do that. Yeah, you get a chance.
What if it was $1 million? Would you risk it for $1 million?
Yeah.
Still?
I'd still do it.
I'd do it for $10, man.
Yeah.
I went 40 years without texting.
He's like, I never have to answer anyone back again. Yeah. This is amazing.
Look at his font. Show him your font on your text. It's a fucking billboard.
Every time I show up somewhere, I don't know how
he gets one word each bar because it's fucking.
You could probably read it from here.
Fuck yeah. That's.
Well, no, it is. I got those glasses, the like transition lenses. So like, if things are too close, I got to take them off. So I realize if I just put the font that big, I don't have to take my glasses.
That looks like the font I try to get away with in essays in school.
To fill up the pages,
double space. What size font are we using here?
Shit.
Did you ask Kirill about Ivan from World Juniors?
No, but yeah, we were dying at that name. I don't know. Was that a typo or was that his real name?
I guess it was real, but it said
somebody confirmed.
No,
but it was Granelli who did it, and we're the rumor boys. So who gives a shit?
Ivan.
Maybe one of the names is Yvonne. Maybe Ivan. I don't know how that is, but yeah, that name is insane.
Do you have anything else you want to ask him, Whit? All right.
Yeah, is this the best vibe around the team since you've been here right now?
I think, and don't want to disrespect like the teams we had before, but I think what we have going on now, there's something brewing here. It's special, and guys just seem to be, on the same page, and it's been fun to be a part of. I think, you got a lot of guys that just know their role, and I think that's been kind of exciting. You don't really have to. Guys always want to jump up in the line and do that stuff, but I think the way we play when we roll 4 lines, we're great. Everyone's getting an opportunity. Everyone has confidence. Everyone gets along with each other. It's since being here, it's probably the best vibe. The most this group's been just gelling with each other, so it's been fun to be a part of.
It's a team that. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What?
No, it's just a team that, like you say, roll 4 lines. Like even the 4th line, you see 10 minutes, right? And it just makes you guys. From me watching games, they're just hard to play against. Like I feel like you just wear teams down. It's a big team, right? I would consider you guys a larger team in the league. So that's what's interesting is that everyone gets to play. It's true.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that's when we kind of get away from the 5-on-5 play, you kind of see where we're getting a little bit of trouble. But like when we do play 5-on-5, I think we're one of the best.
Yeah, you want that.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's exactly the game we want, because when you could throw, Sturmey's line, Bustad and whoever, Pitlick or Raska on there, like those guys take it to the net too, and they play offense. So that's what's great, is that you wear these teams down, and then you send Creel's line out there, then they start buzzing again. So it's one of those recipes that has been working for us, but we just gotta understand that the 5-on-5 play, we're up there with everyone in the league.
You mentioned Pitlick, like he was on waivers, right?
Yeah.
You picked, like, what a great find that is. Why did Nashville let him go, you think?
I don't know. I don't know if it was a money thing, but like this guy, like he's really skilled.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how skilled he was until he got here. And then he had the hat trick in Seattle, like almost the same move, identical times.
Yeah, all breakaways.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's just his hands are really good. His hands, move as fast as his feet when he skates. So he's been like because he's got that confidence, like as a third or fourth line guy, to like make plays at the blue line that can like extend the play. And I find like that's so big for our team, because now we can like get some more offense out there, and he doesn't seem to have lost any of it.
Anything special tricks planned for the outdoor game? Like eye black. I know that's like kind of a common thing guys do.
Yeah.
At the baseball stadium. What do you got to be asleep?
I don't know. We were joking around. Like, I don't know if we're just gonna have like the thing that just has your eyes showing, like the whole hunting mask on. Like, I don't know if I should come out with one of those.
They're called balaclavas.
Yeah, come out like maybe like the Hannibal.
What it's called?
The Hannibal.
It's called
the balaclava,
right?
Yeah.
RA was laughing at me, and I pulled that out of my ass.
That's why I was laughing. Like,
I said that in the room. Actually, some guys were like, "What's that?" I'm like, "I'm pretty sure it's a balaclava." Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong too, but like that.
Did I just offend anyone? Sounds like an offensible word, doesn't it?
Yeah, like I don't know. We're gonna see. It's gonna be like. I went out yesterday. It was like 10 degrees when I went out, put my garbage out the other day, and I'm like, this is going to be
20 degrees
colder. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. This is going to be insane. But I think the jitters and I heard the benches are really warm, so like actually uncomfortable warm, so that'll be good. But maybe in minus 20 degree Fahrenheit weather, it'll be balance out.
Toasty nuts. Well, I know we already had you on, buddy, but we appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
Great personality. I'm sure the fans will love round 2. And anything else that the fans should know about the team? Any silly things going on lately to end things off?
No. I mean, this whole COVID world's been shutting us down. So, we're done playing in Vegas, so I guess we got no more late nights there. So,
I'm sure you'll find another place in another city to go out.
Yeah, exactly. No, we're excited to get back to playing hockey and enjoy Minnesota boys. It's a good time. I heard you guys are going to Cowboy Jacks tomorrow.
Yeah.
So good spot.
Actually, one last one.
Floors.
Oh, we got one last one. Here we go.
Would you rather have Cheeto fingers or wet socks for the next 24 hours?
Or for the outdoor game.
No, he's got his gloves on, though.
No, Cheeto gloves. They're all over your gloves, just covered in Cheeto powder.
Instead of one of those things you get the grip on the stick with, it's just Cheetos.
Oh, a beater. Yeah, the grip.
I think I go wet socks. Yeah, you can hide those a little better. I don't know. Imagine I shook your hand, I got fucking Cheeto fingers.
Oh, that's RA. You fucking shake his hand yet?
You don't eat Cheetos.
Thank you so much, bud.
Right, no problem. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Marcus. Big thanks to Moose for jumping on with us right after practice. Very much appreciated. Like you said, Biz, he makes everyone in media's job super easy. Fun guy, funny guy, great guy. So I want to let you know that interview is also brought to you by Sport Clips. I don't take my broken phone screen to a mechanic for the same reason I don't trust my hair in the hands of my grandmother's stylist. I want someone who specializes in me, and the experts at Sport Clips are trained specifically for guys' hair. Long, curly, short, thinning, thick, chubby face, skinny, whatever you look, they know how to cut and shape your hair to fit you best. Afterwards, you might even get a pinch in the cheek from Grandma. Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair. Let's see, a few more notes before we wrap up here. Jack Eichel could be cleared for contact right after the All-Star break, so good sign for the local
Heads up,
fans
NHL.
Here. Yep, absolutely.
Vegas gets healthy. Look out.
The NHL and NHLPA are in talks about another World Cup before the 26 Olympics. Quote, strong possibility it'll be in February instead of before the season. Obviously, keep posted.
I like that because you're in mid-season shape. I mean, it would be great as the 96 World Cup was prior to the season, September. But I still think middle of the year, it's something to look forward to that breaks up the season for everyone.
No more, what was the underage team? 26 and under North America?
It was the Young Stars team, I think it was.
You gotta go,
North America, Team North America.
Canada, U.S.
Straight up
countries.
All right, I'm in.
The Olympics happened to start the last few days. I know there's no pros in it, so there doesn't seem to be much buzz about it.
Whoa. We're pros, dude. Even though we play in Europe, we're pros, dude. We're getting paid. My buddy Matt Robinson, he's on Team Canada. He is the best player in the world, and he's making more money than everybody in the NHL. It's all tax-free and Russian bag.
I thought I said
He's making 11.
He's making a few sheets.
Is somebody living in his apartment when he's on the road?
I can tell you a great story about this guy, Mike Fountain. He was in the Russian Super League. He would get paid $300,000, and he's trying to bring it home. And he's like, how do I get it home? He was a goalie. He ripped his goalie pad, took out all the stuffing, and lined the money in there, and then re-sewed it. So listen to this. So then, now you got to ship it. So he's sitting at the baggage claim, did the bag,
oh, that's a pan.
His whole salary, $400,000. Did
you don't
it come?
know. You give it a kiss. I hope I see you on the other side.
I hope it gets there. That's what he goes. I was in Toronto like this, waiting. Is it going to come through? And it comes through, and you're still not safe. Maybe they took that one pad out, and then he got the one pad. He saw it, and he undid his sewing job, and there
Just
it was.
Celebrating. It made
unbelievable. That was when I first went to Russia. This guy told me that. And Mike Fountain, he was a Russian Super League. He's the first Canadian guy to ever go over there. I don't know if that made any sense to any of you.
No, I love that shit. Yeah, you hear a bunch of those stories of guys trying to get money back
and now,
over.
Yeah, and now KHL's a little more legit.
Wade had the same dilemma, but Bree got it over, and he got her Gucci bag because of it.
Yep. Well, he just gambled it all away. He didn't come home with anything.
No, I had money. Yeah, I said, well, she wasn't my wife at the time. I said, I have all this money in this Italian. In Russia, it was an Italian bank somehow in Russia, and with the language barrier of both languages, me not having a clue, also just being so lazy with certain things, I said, please, if you can get this money to my bank account in the Bank of America, I'll just get you any bag you want. And then that night, she's like, all right, yeah, I'll pick out the bag next week. I was like, holy shit. But it was money well spent.
The bag was picked out before the work was.
But, you didn't get to the...
Well, we're pros. We're still pros, even though we're over there playing.
No, he said pro. That's fine. Merz, the EBR guy who picks all these European games, now it's all those guys representing their countries, so who's winning?
Russia automatically.
Well,
China's got Yipper.
Yeah, I know. Apparently, somebody sent me a clip. One of our loyal listeners, they clipped. Apparently, I said if Yipper ever plays for China in the Olympics, we'll be there representing. That was before Wuhan and COVID. So, sorry I'm not over in China right now checking out Yipper.
You guys want me to go? I'll go over. I can go.
We'll stuff you in the pads just like the money, buddy.
Last year, 4 years ago, the German team surprised everyone. And I think it was a good game, gold medal game. It wasn't Russia. It was Olympic athletes representing Russia because they just get busted for doping. Mm-hmm. But I guess Russia's that much of a wagon because they have so many good players that just play in the KHL, so that's the pick.
That's
a chalk.
It's chalk, but it's easy. Canada's chance. Canada would be. It's Canada or Russia is going to win it.
Dan Winnick still playing. Ferraro, Landon Ferraro made the squad.
This Robinson he's talking about is a defenseman. I saw him in Dynamo Moscow, and I'm very surprised that he hasn't come over to the NHL because now you see guys coming over later, but he's making so much money to come over. It'd be a big pay cut. Maybe it'd probably be a one-way, but it wouldn't be what he's making. He just lights it up over there and cashes checks.
He's the new Nigel Dawes?
Yes, he is that. He's the new Kevin Dahlman.
Dahlman,
he must have made $20 million over there.
Kevin Dahlman was he's from Niagara Falls. I used to skate with him in summer skates, and he played with LA and
offensive wizard.
I played a game against him in the KHL. We lost 5-4. He had 5 goals, including the OT winner.
He's in the KHL.
Merle's bet on the
and he's a D-man.
Merle's bet on the game and won. EBR special, baby.
He had all 5.
He had all 5, dude. He was so nasty.
Was he when he was on Barry's or
Barry's, Kazakhstan.
That was the
place where they still Borat, but that was
Borat.
Yeah, Kazakhstan.
I've never heard him say it called Borat.
So that guy was sick.
Borat was a sick prick. You're right.
All right, like I said, the Olympics started, and unfortunately for Team USA, the women's team, Brianna Decker got hurt in the first game. It looked like a apparent slew foot from the Finished play. It was ugly. You could hear her screaming because the stadium was empty. It's tough to hear. She's going to miss the rest of the Olympics, unfortunately. Canada's Melody Dow, she's day-to-day with an upper body injury. She's one of the key players. The women are still in the preliminary round. The men start Wednesday. But just going back to China, did you see the China women's goalie, her setup with the dragons on the pads? Fucking unreal.
Incredible.
I didn't. That's
and on the helmet, too. Incredible.
Nice unis.
He's right,
I want to go play some Pie Gal right after that. I saw those pads. What's the game? Baccarat?
No, Baccarat.
Werenski.
That's Werenski's game. Oh, so that just reminded me of two stories. First was you just mentioned that unfortunately Decker you could hear her screaming with an empty crowd. Awful. It reminded me I got to call a guy out in the Chiclets Cup. I think it was the Edmonton team. And I wasn't watching exactly where he was, but all of a sudden I see a guy down, I see him grabbing his knee, and he's screaming. It's like the whole game pretty much stops, and everyone's like, oh no, the dreaded blow out your knee playing street hockey. I was like, oh, is this guy's kneecap like on the other side of his leg? Grinelli sprints. I'm like, we gotta get a doctor's guy's fucked up. Grinelli starts sprinting to the ambulance that we had on site in case something happened. In the meanwhile, there's so much commotion. This guy's screaming. It's dead silent. There's a girl there. She's a Pink Whitney. She's a nurse. Everyone's like, you're a nurse. Go help him. She comes flying out. She's like, I'm a nurse. I can help. The guy got up and was playing the next shift.
He was screaming bloody murder.
I was like, he's done. His ACL is done. And then I was like, wait a minute. If it was just from a slash, how are you going
Speaking of the Chiclets Cup, what I was basically doing was just changing quickly every shift for my two line mates. So I'm going to do that again. I'm out of here, and I'm going to my line mates because I'm done. Right. These guys
just on like the bench. Jacob and Ollie, here we go. Grab that mic, bro.
All time here.
That was a nice segue, Merles.
Great job, man.
Nice help.
That was professional.
It was nice because we didn't rag on the guy who was calling bloody murder, who got the love tap on the knee.
Cried, hey? He chops down K-Man's. Oh, my God.
That guy's the biggest pussy ever, though.
Oh, he's coming in guns ablaze.
He definitely was. He was crying like he blew his whole knee off.
But he chops out K-Man's injured knee that you can see.
I just spilled the
Wait,
drink.
that was the guy who got K-Man?
Yeah, and K-Man just came around and got him on the top, is what he said.
Oh.
I'd tip for tap, man.
Yeah, it was ugly. But back to you guys.
How are the 12 years in Bangladesh where you played pro?
I mean, it's good. I got more ice time in Bangladesh than I did at Spittin Chiclets Cup because you benched me every, 2 shifts, 3 shifts?
I didn't bench you.
Well, not Whip, but GM Whip had me sitting down most of the shift. He's like, let's roll 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was talking to Merles out there, and we're figuring out ways we didn't have to run as much as you guys. So I was part of that. And it was smart play by Merles. Like, this guy coaches championships. You know what I mean?
Did you feel like you got benched?
Well, I did it to myself, man. You know? I didn't want to ding up those waffle boards too bad. You know what I mean?
We're going to get a Marlboro sponsorship if you keep playing for our team. You were hacking Nikes fucking left and right between games.
You know it.
So you didn't.
That's why he was doing quick shifts. He had to crush a dart in between shifts.
Some people stretch. I exercise the lungs. Smart play.
What was it like playing on a line with Merles?
Oh man, seriously, that guy's all time. Yeah. There's no better word for this guy.
He's got weak knees though.
Oh, really need and he's got cankles nowadays too. It's a nightmare.
Butter knees.
Hey, you guys are you're being humble. 2 of the top goals in the tournament. I think it was our Big Deal Sucks first goal was you.
First shift, first goal.
Out of midair in front of the cameras. The clip will be phenomenal. And then
a big shot off Biz's play.
Yeah, Biz. Big ripper.
Yes.
Biz ripped it, then got off the ice quick, and then I just banged her out of it.
I didn't get the plus, but I got the apple.
You were
one of those kind of goals.
That was filthy.
So let's go all the way back. How did you guys even get your start? I know the first time that I uncovered what you guys were doing, where it was the Torts shot blocking video.
Oh yeah.
And the video where you guys came out with the blades on concrete, just sparkler special.
Yeah.
Kind of like when we got there at 11:15 and 11:26, we had the fucking sparklers coming out for Grinelli's bottle service on the Dom Perignon. Very much like that.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds nice. It sounds.
But actually, nice. Biz is like one of the key guys for like us taking off, and like he's a big part of our career.
You were all time. You shared some stuff for us, man. And
tweeted it.
That made a big difference for us.
You guys saw the audience go immediately.
As soon as Biz hit that tweet,
that's awesome.
Overnight.
It
so he's like a big part of our career, you know.
Well, I mean, you guys are funny bastards, so that's why I retweeted it, man. You guys are like OGs in Canada. You guys are doing like Budweiser ads, appearances at the Calgary Stampede.
And now scoring the best goals in Spittin Chiclets Cup history.
One of my favorite Stampede stories was pre-COVID, and Biz is there, and he's obviously in one.
Jesus! Oh, that was single Biz.
Classic Biz, right?
I was getting bumpskis in the porter potties, getting your wings sucked off your torso in the porter potties, and full-on gangbangs going on in the porter potties.
Biz's body was there, but he definitely wasn't.
Yeah. No,
he was full.
My brain didn't get across customs that trip.
No, absolutely not, man.
I was there in spirit.
We're chilling with Johnny. We're just shooting the shit, and then we hear Biz yelling at this girl. He's like, "Hey, come here!
Give me your boot!
Give me your boot!" Takes this girl's sweaty ass boot off,
and she had the hairiest legs too.
And just dumps a brew in, and just goes for it. Just chugs the beer, hands the boot back. Kicks her on the way, and just back to that was all time.
I braided her leg hair too in the 100%.
Meantime. She left with cornrows for sure.
He tried to make Johnny drink out of the boot too, and Johnny's like, "I'm not doing that."
Johnny had Yeezys on, didn't he?
Her leg hair was drier than fucking Ollie's quaff over here.
Yeah, I got to condition a little bit, eh? No, but we got to talk. I'm Jacob.
Hey, so I've been fucking up names.
We've known Biz for like 5 years, and he can't get our name right.
No.
If I had to compare you to something, I would pick like a pile of bricks. You know? That's what I would
Jesus,
probably
Biz, get the names right.
There's so many times I'm like, and I just let it fly, and they're probably like, "That's not my name."
I'm on the ice, and you're like, "Let's go, Jacob! Hit up, Jacob!" And he's beside you, crushing the dart.
Yeah. I just knew you were the lefty, he was the righty.
Yeah. How did you guys find each other? How did you discover each other?
Skateboarding, actually. Yeah, of all things, skateboarding. I convinced him to come play puck with me. So we had a coach back in junior B. You had to fight to stay on the team.
Yeah, I got kicked out. I had to try out for this team 2 years in a row, and this coach, every time he's like, you got to fight if you want to make this team. And I'm like, Coach, like if I don't got to fight, I'm not going to fight, you know? He's like, well, if you don't fight, you're gone. So first year I didn't fight. I got booted off the team. So I try out next year. He's like, okay, you got to fight again. If not, you're gone. It's like, well, fuck, Coach, I won't fight. Didn't fight, gone the next year.
You're like the reverse Happy Gilmore.
I didn't even make the team 3 years in a row because I didn't fight.
You're like the Costco brand Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
364 more days so I don't have to fight someone.
364 days so I can get cut again.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And so you decided to take the plunge into hockey, obviously not regretting ever since.
No, absolutely not.
Definitely not.
No. So, like, when you say skateboarding, just like met each other at the skate park?
Yeah, we were just flicking wood.
How old were you guys at the time?
I was 17.
Selling oregano?
Yeah, selling darts, oregano, flicking wood. Like, hey, you want to do something cool?
Pushing out of the 92 Ford Ranger Custom. That thing was clutch.
Ooh, baby.
Went to Canadian Tire, bought a $34 muffler for this thing. It hummed.
Down the street. Nobody's getting any sleep.
Absolutely not.
You want to sleep at 10 p.m.?
Park parking lot, spinning the tires with a dart and smoke and the Ranger.
I'd have to sneak out of my house. I'd like go out. It was a 5-speed, so I'd put it in neutral, and I'd push myself off the driveway down the block, and then fire it up and burn outside just in case my parents heard. But that's how you had to do it. Just neutral and let her buck.
The gen.
Yeah.
I love the commitment, like to wearing the uniform when you play. But does it ever get like in the way, like the bucket or the vest? It seems like it would interfere with your game a little bit.
No, we both have stun straps on, so the bucky's not going nowhere, and it's more of a safety thing than the Seaboy hat, you know. So
mine's doctor prescribed. So
his is prescribed at a young age. Yeah.
Hey, when you guys are just maybe just chilling in a normal life, right? You probably wear the hair different. Do you get recognized still, or is it really the uniforms when people go nuts when they see you?
The uniforms definitely do. I mean, you see an idiot with a red cowboy hat, you know? Like, it's easy to pick up.
Jacob doesn't really change, though. He's got... Ollie doesn't change. He just takes the garb off, and like he gets recognized a lot. Like he gets free Tim Hortons and stuff when he goes.
Oh, no shit! Yeah. You ever get the great one? 9 sugars, 9 creams.
No, I just go with the sweet Al McInnes, 2 sugar. That's sweet it, right?
You call that the Al McInnes.
The sweet Al McInnes.
What other Tim Hortons coffee cups are we calling here? Have you ever done the great one? 9.
I honestly, I think we invented it. I know we heard it on your guys' podcast.
He said it. I was like, no way.
Because we did this like 3 years ago. We did a video of us going through the drive-thru, like, hey, give me the great one. That's 9 sugar, 9 cream.
And it was disgusting. Dude, an extra large
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
That's business go-to.
Watch your fucking mouth.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty sure you got a great one right now.
Nothing the great one.
Yeah,
you love this.
No, that's a white Russian.
Oh, my bad.
In other languages, we call that. Somebody in that box today said, like, you're legit pink. I said, exactly. It's the Pink Whitney in it. I get sun. I go pink, red lobster. I then go immediately back to pale. I have no tan in my game. So that's why it's Pink Whitney. Thanks, Mer.
So you guys enjoy the weekend here or what? You gonna see you in Buffalo?
It was next level. And
I was talking to Biz today. I told him, I was like, listen, like, if you can get us back on the team in Buffalo, we're going to try and come. Sneak over the
seriously,
border.
I'm going to trade in the Prostate Pros for some real shoes.
Yeah.
Biz, you know we're good fourth-line guys. We get in, we dump it, and we get off.
I was going to say,
and you score nice talks.
Merle should get bumped to the second line.
Merle's got to go.
I'd love to join you guys.
Merle's got to do some squats.
Merle's done. He's never playing again. He's a door opener.
I don't think we're going to hear Merle's in the background here, right?
And I don't want to be harsh, but we got to get rid of our goalies, hey?
We talked
about
Trevor Gretzky was unbelievable. So
he was fantastic, but he kind of fell apart down there. No offense, Trev.
He was in the sun, and that can really get to you. If you don't have the stamina to be a ball hockey goalie, sometimes
or if you're out till 5 a.m. the night before,
that could do it too. But he stood in there for a game and a half, and then we got some substitutes.
He had some big saves too.
He did.
Yeah.
We will address goaltending.
Yeah.
Both diehard Flames fans.
I was, yeah. And now, it's tough. I just cheer for the boys that we know,
Yeah.
As soon as we meet stuff, they ruin the rivalries. I would watch Oilers versus Vancouver pre-OTB, and I would cheer for injuries.
Jacob hated Phaneuf, like, with a passion.
Really?
Seriously?
Hated him.
Yeah, I liked him rookie year, and then he just kind of fell apart, I thought.
Did you ever hear the story when he got his SRT8
truck stolen at
Dude,
Starbucks?
Everyone knows
Outside of
that in
Starbucks.
Alberta.
It made Calgary news. It was headline.
It's funny because Tim Hortons would have valeted it for him.
Oh, for
and
sure.
And then he goes to the bougie Starbucks and he gets the thing stolen.
He needs that $5.
He was poopy pants about that too.
For sure he was.
We were at the Flames game and we were meeting Uncle Nate, and Jacob's like, man, I hate Dion, blah blah blah. And the first guy that walks up from the tent, I don't know, is Dion. He's like, oh, hey guys, Jacob, big fan, love you.
Yeah,
and then he changes mind. You can't hate him.
Yeah, but I say
then you're in the wedding party. You're the godfather to his kids.
Exactly. But I say to their face, the first time we met Teddy Purcell, 10 minutes in, I told him to his face, I hated you. Straight up. He was an Oiler.
Like, that's
He's
okay,
an Oilers
right?
guy.
Yeah, he was an Oiler. So I was like, I hated you. But that was the rivalry, and now I can't have that.
You probably love the Wit, though, because he's a turnover machine.
We're telling
you had a Calgary Flames Whitney jersey.
Oh, for sure I did. For sure I did. He was making probably Freddie Brathwaite. Hey?
I remember the deadline my last year in Edmonton. The deadline came. The day of the deadline, we were in the playoffs. We were the 8th seed. And everyone was like saying like I was gone or whatever. And Steve Tambellini, he kept the team together, tried to make some additions. We played Calgary that night. I was like, yes, I scored too. I was like, oh, here we go. Didn't score the rest of the season. Ended up getting healthy scratch, and that was the end. So Calgary was the beginning of the end post-trade deadline for me with the Oilers.
That's where people go to die is Calgary. I'm not going to lie to you. Careers die in Calgary.
With your guys' brand, it's unreal. I mean, close to 500,000 Instagram followers. Like, the business side of it, have you noticed that's tough? Is it both you guys doing that together? Have you gotten help? What's that whole, like, the scenario?
We got a manager. Oli handles a lot of the editing, like posting on social. I mean, I crank wrenches still because, I'm just trying to pay some bills. But COVID slowed us down. Now we're opening back up, so we're hoping to get on the road.
What's cranking wrenches mean? What's your real job?
I'm a mechanic. I fix cars, yeah.
Classics?
Yeah, car's a car, man. Engine hasn't changed since the model.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
How much am I getting hosed?
Never had your car.
Jacob, how much am I getting hosed bringing the car to the dealer as opposed to finding a good quality mechanic?
Oh, you're getting put through the rinser.
Like, I bought a new carburetor the other day. I didn't realize that.
Dude, they haven't had those since the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want me to fuel inject that car?
Hondo P.
I'll do 100 an hour? Let's do 3 hours. I can take 3. We got you.
I posted one of my bills one time, and the fans were like, oh, buddy, those things don't even exist.
For sure, man.
I brought it right back to the Jeep dealership. I sat in the manager's office, and I said, I can make this real ugly online, or you can just give me back my refund on this credit card. And he put the full refund on.
Oh, primo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the Chiclets Nation helped me out. What do you do regular time?
Nothing. I'm unemployed. I'm just hoping to get paid from Spittin Chiclets Cup.
You stick handle, work on your dangles.
Yeah, I just sit at home. I work on my dangy the chairs and stuff. Just hoping for a contract,
I hear you. Yeah. Buffalo.
He doesn't break character, does he?
Hey?
Nah, he is a character. Our whole life's character.
Yeah, people think it's like we just put on the show, but this is actually yeah.
You just have a helmet on, but like
Yeah,
you
just
said,
put this helmet
you
on.
have to wear that anyways. Doctor told you.
Like who are your favorite NHLers? Like what do you love about the game? Like who?
Like right now?
Yeah.
I'm a big Johnny Gaudreau fan. Brock Besser. That's probably it, to be honest.
Just those two.
Big Sid guy.
Oh yeah,
I
Sid's
love
the best.
There's a great story about his first encounter with Sid.
If there's any way you're going to get paid from the Chiclets Cup, it's like a residual from Sid to Whit that somehow finds a Venmo over to you. But
I'm hoping so.
Based on your play, we covered costs of flight and board, and
what's the story?
That's kind of what
Sid?
you brought.
Okay, so I was a diehard Pens fan before all this.
Huge.
And then I just love Sid because obviously he's the greatest hockey player on earth, right?
So he loved me because I was playing against his favorite team, and you hated me because I was on your favorite team.
I actually loved you when you were in Pittsburgh too with Bugsy.
Thanks, buddy.
No, for real though. You Bugsy and Talbot, I loved you guys. But yeah, so we got there and we were there with Armstrong, and he's like, I could take you down and meet Sid. And I guess before he was texting Sid, he's like, Ollie's here. He has a hard on to meet you.
No, this was all live. That transaction was live. We're going down to see Rusty and those boys, and Sid was injured that game, so we're walking through the tunnel. Sid's
I was so
walking
nervous
the other
too.
way, right? This guy goes beat red.
I was nervous.
Unbelievable, and like this guy would do anything for Crosby.
Meeting your idol.
Anything for Crosby. So we're walking. Army's like, "Oh, Sid, it's the boys," and he's like, "Yeah, I know the boys." And Army's first thing, he's like, "Oh yeah, well he's got the biggest hard on for you. He'll suck you off right now." And Sid's reaction was, "Oh, let's hit the showers."
That was the first thing Sid ever said to us. He's like, "Oh, well, let's go shower."
Talk about making you feel relieved. You're like, yes, he's gonna let me.
That was unbelievable.
First reaction is
I
Sid,
gained
though.
so much respect for Sid.
That's awesome.
That would do better than Paris Hilton number sex tapes.
Probably.
You'd be the new Kim K,
right?
Sucking off Sid.
Look how big she is now.
I get you.
That's what I'm saying. I'll do it. A little bit of fame, you know.
What do you got, Ray?
What's up next for you boys after here? Any content coming up? Anything new or what?
Rolling back home tomorrow. If we
pass our COVID tests.
Yeah.
Oh,
we just went through.
Those are not covered as well.
Why did you guys?
Cup, PHP,
you can't get one.
Yeah, they're all closed
doctors.
tonight.
We tried for like 6 hours today trying to find a spot to go. Couldn't do it.
What time's your flight tomorrow?
12:30. So we're rolling at
Lots of
9.
time.
We should be all right. And
We
then,
got the Expo in Minnesota. We got a bunch of things coming up. Mainly
State Tourney.
Minnesota, State Tourney, Hendrickson Foundation, all that stuff.
Nice.
But it must be awesome, the fact that the game basically keeps you guys moving. You guys get to keep your friendship. You get to go on the road. You get to keep things moving and shaking, and also probably bank a little bit of dough. So you guys must be over the moon about how everything
This is
worked out.
fantastic.
It could. This is a dream you never knew you had, right?
Well, I got the chance to meet you guys for the first time. Had an absolute blast. Thanks for joining. Everyone, check them out. Because for people in America, maybe not aware, On the Bench, Instagram, these two guys are funny, great videos. Check them out now.
And I got one last question. If there's one thing about the league that you could change, what would you change?
Ask Jacob. I got to think. I got a small brain.
Okay, all right, cool.
I would say the
Peanut
fight
brain.
rule. I miss the policing with fighting. I miss that a lot. Like, there's too much stick work. So I want to see some fights and take out that god-awful instigator rule. I hate that.
Wow.
He misses the old days.
This is tough.
Hey,
This is
Ollie,
tough.
Jacob, whatever the fuck your name is, you're up, man. What do you think?
One thing to take out of the game. Is there still red line passes?
No, those
are gone.
There's no two-line passing anymore.
Oh, two-line passes.
You want to put it back in?
No, I was just curious if that was still in.
Oh, okay.
One thing. Okay, so I think when the goalies leave the net, they should be able to get fucking hammered.
Fucking game.
Fair game. I think they should get fucking killed. I'm telling you.
Aaron Dell's a killer.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys think he's going to get hammered next game? He leaves his net.
Should we call it the Aaron Dell rule, where we make
the Aaron Dell
goalie?
rule? If you leave your net goalies, you're fair game. If you get hammered,
100%.
tough break.
Could you imagine the postable clips of goalies getting?
Can you imagine Tom Wilson
gear
hammering
going
Carey
flying?
Price?
Full yard sale.
Be classic.
Wilson's going 25 miles an hour. Goalie comes out, just runs
He's
over.
always been like that.
Buckets in
Aaron
the third
Dell's
row.
always been throwing cheap shots.
Aaron Dell has always been like that. I grew up playing with him in Arizona.
Really?
And he is.
They put him on waivers after that last
He is
one.
a firecracker.
Would he come on the pod?
Oh, Deller? 100%.
And
Nice.
is it true he's blind in one eye?
That I didn't know.
that was your goalie in Chiclets Cup.
Yeah, that was our goalie. That's why we
that
lost.
was hazy. That was hazy in Chiclets Cup.
Hey, wait. So
That's a good way to end this one.
That's great. That's great that he'd come on. would he be wanting to fight guys? Like, is he that much of a firecracker?
Oh, he would for sure.
He was trying when he was playing in San Jose. They came to Calgary. He told me afterwards he was trying to go the other goalie.
Oh, really?
I can't remember who. It might have been.
That's
Talbot.
when all that stuff happened, where he hooked Benny in the balls, and then they had that little scrum.
So he was trying to Tilly there.
So he's like a new school. Who's the guy we interviewed for the Islanders? The old goalie used to scrap.
Billy Smith.
Billy Smith. He's a new school Billy Smith.
Well, and nobody. Well, I shouldn't say nobody because Ron Hextall. Ray Emery fought Josh Gratton. It's like he was fighting heavyweights back in the day. So that was probably the toughest goalie I ever saw.
With a smile on his face.
Yeah, laughing the whole time. Yeah. Well, boys, thank you so much for joining. We'll hopefully see you guys in Buffalo and keep on just crushing it. It's great to see. Congratulations on all your success.
Thanks a lot, fellas.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Tendies, fair game.
Fair game. It's a new rule coming in 2023.
Well, this is going to wrap up our first ever Las Vegas episode. Hopefully not our last, if Biz doesn't stop misbehaving over there. But we got to say, first off, thanks to the sponsors, Pink Whitney, Body Armor, Labatt Blue, Alto, Unreal. Thanks to the participants who come out to play. And a huge thanks to everyone who didn't play, who just came to hang out, to take in the action, especially those who drove several hours or flew in. Like I said earlier, we're humbled by it. We fucking love you guys and gals, and we'll see you in Buffalo.
Peace.